Hello, welcome to the Football Social with Sky Bet. We are live right now on Soccer M and Football Daily's social platforms, and we will be live every Saturday during the season. Great show for you today. Firstly, on the sofa, former West Ham striker Marlon Harewood. And also, what's even more impressive about this guest, it is your birthday today, isn't it? Yeah. Round of applause for that. Brilliant effort.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, Marlon.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. Next to him, we've gone from full-time Devils, Adam McKola. Ad's always great to see you.
Thank you for having us.
Now, the feature game isn't Man United, which I think you're glad about.
I'm glad about, yeah, because I haven't enjoyed watching United over the last few weeks, so it'll be good to watch something else and hopefully see West Ham upset a few gooners.
OK, yes. So our feature game, as we've said, is Arsenal against West Ham, which Marlon, Adam and myself will be across. But, as always, we'll be across all the Premier League games and updating with the EFL action as well. Pete Dorman from Football Daily is back with us. Pete, thanks once again for joining us. Tell us about your role today, because you want our viewers to be involved in the show.
Yes, my role is very important, Smithy, and we want you guys at home to get as involved as possible. So drop your comments and questions below this video now, or tweet us at Football Daily or at SoccerAM with the hashtag #TheFootballSocial. I'll pick them up and farm them out to the beautiful panel of guests we have today.
It is
First time I've been called that.
Beautiful panel of guests. And there's no such thing as a bad question, is there?
I'll take that. I mean, also look at this velvet number.
Yeah,
it is a lovely jumper, adds that.
Colour coordinated.
It's like pub curtains, remember?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
You're definitely a Man U fan, haven't you?
Oh, man. He's already started, Marlon.
He's started already.
Forget his birthday now.
Let's move on. Michael McCubbin, who's got the best role of all of us. We've even spent all the budget on new armchair for you, because you are our armchair
Swivels
fan.
and everything.
Multitasking, watching all the other games. Tell us what games you're watching, Mike.
Yeah, I'm going to be watching Southampton, Leicester, Bournemouth, Everton, and the one we've all been waiting for, Huddersfield versus Cardiff, that crucial relegation six-pointer this early in the season. So, yeah, I'm going to be providing updates on all the goals, all the action, all the controversy, which hopefully is going to be taking place in those games as well, so stay tuned.
I love the fact it's already a six-pointer, what we week 3 in the season. Already.
Everyone seems really, not really excited by that game, but I think Huddersfield will be going into that thinking we can win this.
Yeah.
Cardiff the same. Cardiff haven't got any points. Yeah. It's going to be a good game.
I think it'll be a good game.
Could surprise us.
I think it'll be a good game. And we've got some great incentives through our mates at Sky Bet, so stay tuned to how you can get involved in that as well. Right, the team news is in. This is the Arsenal team. It is our pointless fixture, not being rude, but it is just a team that has no points against a team that has no points. Arsenal, checking goal. Bellerin, Mustafi, Socrates, Monreal. Guendouzi, who's impressed so far this season, with Xhaka sitting in front of the back four. Mkhitaryan, Ramsey and Iwobi in behind Aubameyang. One change for Arsenal. Mesut Ozil unwell, not even on the bench, so Aaron Ramsey replaces him. Alex Iwobi, who scored against Chelsea last weekend, interestingly makes his 100th appearance for the Gunners today. This is the West Ham team. I know Marlon Harewood would be keen to look at the West Ham side. Fabianski against his former club in goal. Fredericks, Balbuena, Diop, Masuaku, Sanchez, Wiltshire, Jack Wiltshire. So much to talk about with Jack Wiltshire going up against his former club, of course. Snodgrass, Anderson and Antonio in behind Arnautovic. So that is Manuel Pellegrini making 4 changes from the side that lost at home to Bournemouth. Fredericks, Diop, Sanchez and Antonio replacing Zabaleta, Ogbonna, Noble and Hernandez. So a lot of changes for West Ham, Marlon. Got to go to you, former West Ham player yourself. What do you think of West Ham this season? Because a lot of money was spent going into it. A lot of West Ham fans very confident going into the season, but it hasn't gone to plan so far.
Yeah, it's one of them, really. Beginning of the season, the first game of the season, it's like a 50-50 game because they haven't really had time to bond.
Yeah.
You've brought so many new players, top players in, so it's going to take time. But obviously, this day and age in football, no one's got time to do anything, really. So I think today is going to be a very, very important game for both managers and both teams.
Yeah. As Man United fan, obviously Arsenal rivals for Man United for many years. Do you look at them now? What do you make of this Arsenal side? Do you think they've got promise with Emery, or is it going to take them a bit of time for him to implement what he wants to do?
I still think the squad that Wenger left isn't great, really. I think going forward they've got very good potential, but I think Arsenal have always had that. It's defensively where they need to shore up, and I think when you look at their back line, you look at the signings that they've brought in, I don't think the signings are that good.
Do you know?
At the back, Socrates, and then Lichtsteiner at the right back. I think Lichtsteiner's a good player, but is he amazing? I don't think so. And I think anyone in the Europa League is going to find it difficult. So I could see a season again outside the top 4 for Arsenal. Yeah, although I do think Unai Emery will improve them in certain areas.
Yeah. We've got to talk about Jack Wilshere, of course. 11 years as a pro at Arsenal, 197 appearances, winning 2 major trophies, of course, back-to-back FA Cups. West Ham now, the team he supported as a kid. How big a signing is that for West Ham, Marlon? Because he is someone that splits opinion, isn't he, Jack?
Yeah, definitely. It's a big signing for West Ham. and it's a big game for him today.
It is, isn't it?
Being at Arsenal for so long, and he'll definitely want to go there and prove something, and I think he'll rally the lads on this game today, seeing them coming out now, and it's a big game for him.
Yeah, there he is now. Obviously, the first time he's played against Arsenal, of course. He was at Bournemouth, but it was a loan spell, so he was unable to feature. Big game for Jack Wilshere. These are the scenes, as you can see, at the Emirates. Both teams with 0 points so far. Big opportunity to one of them to get their seasons starting. Looks like a packed crowd as well. They're just all the focus added on Wilshere, isn't it?
Yeah.
All the cameras.
He's a West Ham fan. What's the big deal? He's playing for his boyhood club now, so I mean, he should be happy. But I think it's interesting, Wilshere. I wouldn't be surprised him getting booked very early on.
Really? Why do you say that?
Cool.
Because I don't know. I'm going to ask Marlon, like, when you play against your old clubs, what kind of attitude are you going to? If it was me, I would feel like I want to prove them guys wrong.
Yeah,
for doubting me, but that may put more pressure on yourself.
No, it's massive because when I went to West Ham from Nottingham Forest, and we played them within, I think, 5 games later on. We played them, and every tackle I wanted to win, every run I wanted to win. You're up for it like a. You just want to make sure you win because it's like them bragging rights, really.
Yeah.
You go back in the change rooms.
He's up against a lot of his friends, of course, as well.
Yeah, definitely. So he's got something to prove today, and obviously West Ham. Hopefully he'll try and get the first win today as well at that stadium. So it'll be massive for him.
Yeah.
Would you celebrate goals against your former club?
I didn't. I was the places I've been, they were very respectful to me, so I respect them back and didn't celebrate or didn't do anything. And I scored as well. So all the places I've been to.
I don't know, I love a bit of foolishness sometimes.
I can tell if Adam did, you celebrate. He definitely celebrates. Right. We can have a look at our accumulator every week on the show. As regular viewers will know, we do a football social ACCA. Right, so this is what we've done. We've picked our predictions and put them into a 4-fold accumulator. So, Marlon Harewood, you've gone draw in the Arsenal-West Ham game. Adam McKola has gone for an Everton win at Bournemouth. I've gone for a draw in the Southampton-Leicester game. This was a tough one to pick. And the Football Daily lads have combined forces, shall we say. Michael and Pete have gone for a home win in the Huddersfield versus Cardiff game. And you can get odds. We put them into accumulator. You can get odds through Sky Bet of 92 to 1 for that. Don't forget, you must be 18 plus. Full terms and conditions apply. For more details, go to skybet.com. A lot of hard fixtures to predict, Michael, wasn't there?
Yeah, I mean, Huddersfield, I feel like Huddersfield, just from having that year in the Premier League, good home form as well, which basically saved their skin last season.
Yeah.
I think that's what did it for us, wasn't it, Pete, in the Cardiff game?
Well, yeah, I mean, I made a terrible decision 2 weeks ago that ruined the ACCA, so I didn't really want to take the hot seat in this, but I think Cardiff are probably one of the worst Premier League teams I've seen in a while.
OK.
And,
don't hold back.
I mean,
Neil Warnock's on next week, you know.
Yeah, well.
Pete, let's stick with you on that note. Social media. We want the social media audience to be a big part of this show. What are people saying so far?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just searching out some feelers for the game ahead, and it's all Arsenal. I put a poll out, of course I did. I love a good poll myself.
You do love a poll.
Yeah. 60% Arsenal at the minute, 18% draw, and 22% West Ham. So that's fairly.
But given that Arsenal fans usually pile in on any poll, that's a really low score for them, isn't it?
Well, I mean, I think it's to be expected. At home, I don't really see West Ham having enough to hold them off, if I'm honest.
Well, okay.
And I think a lot of people on social media.
Yeah,
from what I've seen,
why do you think that though?
Well, I think if you look at the quality of their forward line, even without Ozil, and the fact they're playing at home, got the crowd behind them, I don't really think after like 60 minutes, I think the game will just open up a lot more.
Yeah.
Right, the games have kicked off. I think all 4 of our 3 o'clock games have kicked off. To give you a quick bit of team news from the other games. Bournemouth against Everton. Bournemouth, of course, 100% record, started great. Eddie Howe, longest-serving manager in the Premier League, also the youngest manager in the Premier League, which is interesting. Names an unchanged side to the one that won at West Ham last weekend. Record signing Jefferson Lerma is on the bench and awaits his debut. Tom Davies replaces Morgan Schneider in the midfield for Everton, whilst Brazilian Bernard is named on the bench and awaits his club debut. Huddersfield against Cardiff. We've already called that the 6-pointer on week 3 of the season, which interests me. 5 changes from Huddersfield, who've conceded 9 goals in their opening 2 Premier League games. Diakabi makes his first competitive start for the club, while Matthias Jorgensen, Jonathan Hogg, Moy, Van La Parra also make the starting 11. For Cardiff, Neil Warnock makes 1 change. Mendes laying in for Junior Hoylett. Southampton against Leicester is our last game. Mark Hughes, a lot of changes being made, which is very interesting. 4 changes again from the side that lost to Everton last week. Yannick Vestergaard recovers from illness to start and joins Højbjerg, El Nouisi and Shane Long, who is 2 goals short of 50 Premier League career goals. And 3 changes for Leicester. Of course, Jamie Vardy serving the first of his 3-game suspension, replaced by Kelechi Iheanacho, whilst Daniel Amasi and Wes Morgan also start in place of Mark Albrighton and Johnny Evans. You're interested to see a lot of changes being made to a lot of teams.
A lot of changes.
Are you surprised with that?
Very surprised, because back then when I was playing, we loved to play. And if you're not on that pitch, it's just like upset, but everyone seems to be happy with it. And it's not happy with it, but there seemed to be like loads of rotation and making fresh players going into games. Like it's just like West Ham, they've made how many 4 changes today from the last week. So the players that played last week ain't got a chance to rectify what's happened last week because they lost. So it's a bit hard, isn't it? Instantly,
adds a lot of the teams that have made that many changes are off the back of losses or draws. So it goes to show what we were saying earlier, that managers and players, you don't get a lot of time now. They're chasing that win immediately.
You need to give everyone an opportunity as well. You'll see a lot of teams have brought in players and they need to find a balance. Managers are still trying to find their best 11s. I mean, Jose Mourinho is still just trying to find his after 2 years. So it's not an easy thing to do where, you know,
but do you think if you keep chopping and changing, that doesn't help?
I agree in that sense. If you keep chopping and changing, it doesn't help.
Yeah, because as a striker,
there's players that need opportunities. Yeah. In a striker position,
you can't really, to just get the feel of things and get to playing. But if you're playing one game and then judged on that, it is hard.
It's hard, but ultimately, it's early in the season. They're not only going to be judged on that one game, and I think they'll come back into the fray. But it is interesting early on in the season. I think the World Cup hasn't helped.
No, it doesn't give a lot of teams.
Yeah, because they haven't had preparation time. So a lot of managers are doing now what they probably would have been doing in pre-season, in Premier League games.
Yeah.
So we are just a few minutes in. West Ham, slight half chance there. Looks to be quite open. I know we've only been playing a few minutes, Marlon, but quite an open game. You think West Ham will make chances in this game?
I think so, because I think that West Ham have gone quite strong at top.
Yeah.
The strongest team he thinks like we're going to threaten them. He's got Antonio on the wings that's got a bit of pace, so I think he's going to try and stretch them.
He's so versatile, isn't he?
Yeah.
Antonio, he can play absolutely anywhere.
Yeah,
is that a good thing to have in a squad, or sometimes as a player, do you want to nail down that position so that?
Yeah, sometimes it's just it is good, but you just want to play. So if you're on that pitch, wherever you're playing, you just do your best. And I think Antonio's thinking that because he's playing left wing. He's normally a right wing, or he's been playing up front. So when you're on that pitch, you just want to perform really and enjoy the game.
Yeah, West Ham getting a lot of the ball at the minute. Early result to tell you as well, if you weren't aware, big result for Wolves. 1-1 against Man City. Willy Bolly with a very controversial first goal. It has to be said, off his arm. Make sure you check that one out. It was a very interesting first goal. And Laporte getting the equaliser. The moment that Adam McKola walked into the green room as a Man United fan and said, this is going brilliantly, Man City scored. Is that the story of Man United season so far, Az?
I try not to focus on other people's scores at this time of the season, but after last week, we kind of have to. And it's just frustrating to me because I'm one of those guys that will look at it like, oh, if only we beat Brighton last week, we would have had an opportunity to go into an early lead ahead of them. So it is very, very early doors, but I'm glad to see City drop points today because it does show they're not invincible against the newly promoted side as well. So, yeah, happy with that, but still, United need to focus on themselves before we start looking at Manchester City.
Yeah, well said. Right. Michael, you've got the best job in the house.
Yes.
There's a lot going on. Dave and Joe have previously sat in that seat saying it's hard to be across all of the action.
It is.
5 minutes in, how are the other 3 games going?
5 minutes in, I'm only able to actually focus on 2, which is actually quite useful at the moment because Huddersfield-Cardiff has stopped. There was a clash between the Cardiff winger and Huddersfield's keeper, Hamer. And they've both been on the floor for about 3 minutes now. So the other 2 games, both pretty even. Southampton looking quite positive against Leicester, but, yeah, nothing really much going on in the game so far.
Cheers, Michael. Obviously, whenever there is a goal, we will inform you of those. Marlon, you seem to be quite happy with how West Ham started this game.
Yeah, very happy. They just almost they keep threatening them, turning them back. The way Arsenal's playing at the moment, they're leaving it quite open for Antonio 1v1. Yeah. And I know he'll be quicker. They'll just give the ball away. So I know he'll be beating them for 1v1s with their right back.
Got to talk about the player that they're featuring now, Guendouzi. He has impressed, hasn't he? First game against Man City, he looks quite calm on the ball. As I've said that, he has just kicked the ball out of play, which is classic.
Just as you said it.
Yeah, just as I said it. Other than that, though, he looks like a good player, doesn't he?
He does look like... I've only seen the 2 games of him that he's played this season, so I haven't got an in-depth knowledge on him. But from what I've seen, he does look like a good player, tidy on the ball.
A very Arsenal player, isn't he?
Very Arsenal-like. Yeah. But unlike Arsenal, it looks like he's got a little bit of bite about him, a little bit of fight about him. And that must be what Arsenal fans want to see. Because for too long, they haven't had that in the midfield, and now they're breaking again.
They're getting a lot of joy down this left side, West Ham.
Mikel Antonio, so much space.
Antonio's in the box.
Good ball, come on.
Oh. West Ham are getting a lot of joy down the left.
Overlap.
Oh, just struggled to get the ball in play. It's still in play. Oh. Very open game, this one.
Very open.
Very
a lot of space for West Ham to attack on the break. But that also means there's a lot of space for Arsenal as well. So
yeah, there is.
Yeah.
It's looking like there could be goals in this game. Where are we thinking we're going to get a goal first?
Oh, good call. I like that question.
Sorry, I'm not supposed
to like that question. Where are we thinking we're going to get a goal?
I'm actually thinking
this is taking your job.
I think we could get one early in the our feature game, Arsenal-West Ham, with how open it is. West Ham look like they've started the game very well. Well, interesting West Ham. People were saying, obviously, they've started poorly this season, but they made a poor start last season as well, losing their opening 3 Premier League matches. What would you put that down to? Is that just a sort of freakish stat? Or...
Yeah,
it's not great, is it?
No, I think it's just the first couple of seasons that they've been trying to find their feet, obviously going into the new stadium, getting new players, yet again, a new manager, trying to find their feet again. And then it's hard, really, because I'm West Ham at heart a lot, because I've had a really good time there, and fans
loved you, didn't they?
Yeah, the club, it's just an amazing club. Obviously, you don't see what's like it. The staff are amazing, everyone's just amazing. It's really good, and so people there, they want to do so well.
Yeah.
And then and you're bringing new players in, new manager, you've got time to bond and things. Yet again, we're talking about that time, but people ain't got time, so it's just been hard for them, for all round. And then hopefully now they're going to go on to this season and start from today, really.
They signed a different calibre of player, I think, as well.
Yeah.
I think when you look at the likes of Felipe Anderson, he was linked with Manchester United an awful lot. I know there's probably always links there, but he was linked with a lot of, with all due respect, bigger clubs and clubs that are in Europe. So when you look at the players they are signing, they kept hold of Arnautovic, got Hernandez, they have got goals in the team. So if they get it right behind them, and I think in that midfield, for me, I know he's loved by their fans, but Noble just isn't good enough. So I think if they get past that thing where we have to play Noble, especially now you've got Wilshere in the midfield, someone that will bring that bite anyway, I think they'll be OK.
Yeah, I disagree. No,
do you think Noble's good enough?
I watch Nobes quite a bit, because I'm an ambassador for West Ham, so I go to majority of all the home games. And what he does, I think because he's captain, I think he feels like he has to do a lot. So, like, obviously, being in front of the back 4, then he feels like he has to... He wants to do everything instead of just sticking to one position. And if he stuck to one position, then I think he'll be good. And then it's just trying to find his feet in the West Ham team, because him and Wilshere are both similar players.
I was just about to ask you that. They are similar players. How do they find a system to...
This is what I mean.
Both?
So
do they both start for you? Is it one or the other?
Obviously not making a decision, but I think it's just one or the other, because they're both doing the same sort of job, and it's a bit hard.
I think it allows... Because they've been playing Wilshere in the 10 as well. I think if you get Felipe Anderson in the 10 and maybe bring Wilshere a bit deeper, and that would possibly help. But again, like, teams at this stage of the season are just trying to find that balance.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's probably why, as we mentioned earlier, we've seen so many changes in the team.
It does take time. We spoke about Wilshere there. We've got to talk about the comments in the week. Manuel Pellegrini saying, a very interesting quote this, that again split opinion on social media. Juventus played with one holding midfielder, he said. It was Pirlo. And Pirlo is the same as Jack Wilshere. That's a quote. Wow. He has the same characteristics. Adam, we'll go to you first, because your reaction was quite strong. That's a direct quote. Pirlo is the same as Jack Wilshere. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, man. I know you're a West Ham ambassador, but you probably should have sat next to me today.
Oh, no, it's good. I just think...
Can you understand where he's coming from?
I think it's good. Jack Wilshere, for me, I think Paul Scholes said it best a couple of years ago, where he said he's still that player that broke through at Arsenal.
Yeah.
Like, he has never really improved. And I think... he wasn't helped by the managership and the leadership at Arsenal. There was never really any demands. Everyone was settled there. Everyone was comfortable, picking up their wage. There was no pressure on them to get trophies and to win things. And I think
I agree
he has become a victim of that, because he has never progressed as a player.
But I think he's got a chance now.
He does, yeah.
He's not got that around him anymore. It's like a new start. So he has to prove his worth, if you get what I mean. And
it's his boyhood club, so now
it's a different situation. As well. Yeah, so it's a whole different situation.
What's so great about the Wilshere thing, though, again, the opinions are so varied, aren't they, from football fans alike, and it's I
think it's because he was so talented, and he just failed to live up.
Chance for Arsenal! Oh, what a save! Yes, it's 1-0.
Is it offside? Offside, yes.
Wow. First moment.
Happy birthday, Marlon.
It's offside, it's offside.
Marlon,
I know, that's what I mean.
Talk us through this, Marlon.
Thank God for that. I was just listening to you talk about Wilshere, and then all of a sudden they were on the break.
good challenge in there.
Bellerin down the right, good cross in.
Oh, it's clear it there.
Oh, it's offside, isn't it? It is offside.
It's a great save.
Right decision for you, Marlon.
Very.
Was it
So that's Aaron Ramsey with the header.
Such a good decision that is.
And the ball is in the back of the net, but it hasn't been given correctly. Ruled off for offside. It is still 0-0. I believe we've got a question from one of our viewers that we can see now. Pete, do you want to give us this one? First comment of the day. Keep them coming.
Sorry, where is this coming?
It's on the screen. Who do you think are going to be better this season, Manchester United or Liverpool? Who do you think is going to be better this season, Man United or Liverpool? We've got to go to ads for that
going
one.
on the first... Yeah, I'll go for you, because I'm going on the first...
I think
the first couple of games...
On the first couple of games, obviously Liverpool, but if you...
Let's go!
Oh! Big chance!
Oh, side netting.
It's all going on at the Emirates. Arnautovic with a big chance again.
That was a good opportunity.
I'm sticking by my prediction, the first goal on this game, because this game is...
I'm glad you've moved on from that question, by the way.
Oh, he's not offside.
He's not offside. Arnautovic is through side angle. Oh, he's hit the side netting.
Antonio's there for tapping.
What's he done wrong there, Marlon, for the striker?
God. I don't know. I can't answer that.
As a striker, what are you doing at half-time?
What would you have done?
As a striker, it's a bit of both, really. If he's going to hit the... If he's taking the chance, he's got to hit the target. Or go and cross goal, because if he goes across goal, it's allowing someone else to have a tap in. Or look, so Antonio's telling him now because he was free.
Yeah, he is, isn't he? Having words instantly. Antonio's saying to Arnautovic, you should have squared the ball.
Square the ball or hit the target.
Yeah.
So that's just normal. Like, so if he hit the target, Antonio wouldn't have anything to say. But because it went wide, as a striker, when you go in that half-time, I know Antonio's going to be having a word.
How hard's that, though, as a striker? If you miss a chance, the last thing you want is your teammate saying, you should have scored that, mate, or hit the target.
Not really, because if you're free, you're going to want him to pass it. So if you ain't hit the target, that's just...
It's in your right to say it.
Yeah.
Is it annoying when, like, as a striker, you must know that you've missed a good opportunity and you've got people saying to you, like, oh, you should have scored that?
Yes,
like, does that make you more angry when you know yourself, I should have buried that?
Yes and no. Definitely.
Oh,
is that a penalty?
Is that a penalty?
No.
No, not given.
Oh.
It's amazing how open this game is.
It's a good,
amazing how open
question,
this game is.
but yeah, you are riled up already that you've missed the target, and it is a bit annoying, but at the same time, they're only saying it for a reason because it could have been someone else on, just like that instance there. Antonio had a tap-in, so he's in his right to say to him, bro, look up. It could be 1-0 up here.
Well, Marlon, on that note, we've got thank you for your comments. Keep them coming in. There's a question for you on screen now that you can see at the bottom. Can you ask Marlon if he could come back up front for West Ham, please? Yes, I can. Marlon, thoughts on that?
God, I'd love to, but I'm a bit out of shape now at the moment.
You don't look out of shape. You look in great shape.
I try, thank you, but it's obviously the fitness levels now for the last 2-3 years are a joke because I go to quite a few games and people scoring goals in like 92, 93 minutes of games, and the tempo is just seriously really up there. But, mate, I'd love to. If you need me, just give me a call.
Good question. Keep them coming. Michael, let's go to Chance in one of the games.
Yeah, Callum Wilson. Awful miss. Awful miss. Had the whole goal gaping open at him. And, no one even closing him down. Ball comes through and he puts it over the bar.
Free kick.
So, Bournemouth should be 1-0 up. But
and in the other games,
0-0.
who have you been most impressed with team-wise so far?
I think Southampton and Leicester, quite a scrappy game, but both teams looked like they could score at some stage. I think Southampton have been the better team. Huddersfield, Cardiff is quite open. Congolo had a really good chance for Huddersfield from range just a few minutes ago. Going back to that clash between the keeper and the Huddersfield winger, both those players have gone off now. So both teams only have 2 subs left. So that could be actually quite interesting. I can see this being quite a good game going in late. But yeah, still 0-0 everywhere else. So,
thanks, mate. Let's go to Pete. Already had a few questions from social. Got any more for us?
Yeah, there's an interesting one here from Phil, and he has asked, a lot of people are saying that Arteta will be the next City manager. Did Arsenal make a mistake by signing Emery instead of him?
Oh, go to you with that one, Marlon.
Oh, God, that's a good question.
It's a good question, isn't it?
But I was just about to take a free kick.
Here we go. Oh, delivery. God.
I love how Marlon is... You're still West Ham through and through, aren't you? Still West Ham through and through. I love that.
I just want him to do well.
Yeah.
I always want him to do well. Sorry, what
and it gives you more time to think of the answer to the question as well.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, so should Arsenal have signed Arteta as their manager instead of Emery?
I think he would do well, but the manager that they got now is very well thought of. So I don't think they've done wrong in having this manager at the moment in time, and obviously Arteta's there for later on, and if things don't go right for Arsenal. So, but I think that the manager that they've got now will do a very good job, because hearing on the grapevine, he's very well thought of.
Yeah, do you think it's more of a risk? Because we know how respected Arteta is as a coach, but obviously, as a number one, as a manager, he hasn't had that experience. Would that have been a more of a risky appointment than, say, an Emery?
No, not really. I don't know why. That's always obviously everyone goes on experience and stuff like that. I don't believe in that. I believe in that if someone willing to go and give it a go and give it a good chance, and the lads respect him, I think he will have a good time.
OK. Michael, any other chances in your games?
No, nothing at all. Actually.
Nothing at all. Thank you very much.
He's watching 3 games, by the way.
It's all just in the midfield. I was going to say, though, Marlon, I think West Ham probably could do with you out there today, because I was doing a little bit of...
oh, yes, go on. It's 3v3.
Oh, come on, man. He was giving him a call there.
Slow from us. Is that Jack? I think that was Jack Wilson. Sorry, Michael. Going back to your.
Yeah, no,
point.
I did one piece of research this morning, and I found out that you were unbeaten against Arsenal with West Ham, and you scored the winner against them once.
You scored a famous goal, a late goal, didn't you, against Arsenal? Was that one of your favourite goals?
Place erupted. Yeah. No, I think West Ham fans, it's one of their favourite goals because it's Arsenal and it's a massive derby.
Yeah. And that was a good Arsenal team as well. That was with Henry and like Kleb and the
was that the instant the two managers coming together as well, that game?
Which one?
Wenger?
Was that
2006 sort of time, I think it was.
At home or at Anfield? Because we were the last team to beat Arsenal at
Highbury.
OK, all right, yeah. So that would have been, I think, the one where you scored the winner was the first meeting at the Emirates, maybe, or at Upton Park.
At Upton Park.
But then there was like 3-2, I think, at Highbury.
Yeah, that one's a good game.
Yeah.
Good team, good times.
Yeah.
That's like one of the feelings, like as a kid, you just want to experience.
Yeah.
Like score, because one of my friends plays for Swansea, and he scored his first professional goal of a week, and like.
Yeah.
That's something that everyone dreams about. It's like I remember thinking he's made it now.
Yeah,
Just that feeling.
And you can't take that moment away. Whatever happens now, you've got that moment.
And you've had it for your club. Like I'd probably cry if I scored for United or something. Like I wouldn't know what to do with myself.
It is a good feeling. It is a good feeling.
Sign me up, Jose.
Especially when you score quite a few.
I like that.
On that note, Marlon, favourite ever goal you scored? Is there one that stands out for you?
Yeah, just the FA Cup semi-final. Yeah. Not just that, just how well we did that season, and I helped them to get to a cup final.
Which you were unlucky not to win that cup final, weren't you, as well?
Was that one against Liverpool?
Yeah.
Konchesky's goal. I remember that cross-shot goal thing.
Yeah. And I think Gerrard since then has said he only shot from distance because he had cramp, and usually if he hadn't had, he wouldn't have done it.
No, it's super G, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyone else normally would just get the ball and put it wide.
Yeah.
The ball was bouncing coming towards him. It just gives me nightmares sometimes every time I think about it.
Sorry to bring that up again, though, in that case. Any more questions? Some good questions so far, Pete. Keep them coming in the comment section below. Any more for us?
Yeah, I've got an interesting one from Jake here, and he says, if Arsenal lose today, are already out of the top 4 race.
Oh.
Were they ever in it?
Well, I mean, you have to give them some respect in that they are.
You should throw the question back to him.
Yeah. Europa League is...
Does he think they're going to be top 4? You should ask him the question.
I think
he obviously thinks they are.
The crux of the argument here is that there'll be 3 games, 3 losses.
Yeah.
You know, that's with 35 games left this season, that's huge.
Yeah.
You know, you've already lost 3 games. If you look at what City last year, granted it was a freak season, they lost 2 games.
Yeah,
we go. West Ham.
I know what you're saying. The points difference is a lot to catch up. West Ham on the attack again. Chance for West Ham. Arsenal look very shaky at the back at the minute. It's quite an open game, and West Ham getting a lot of the ball. They're down the right this time, getting a lot of joy down the left. Down the right, the ball's whipped in. Chance!
Oh, Tevez!
God! Oh my God!
You've got to get your head on that.
Arsenal clear. The ball is in Peter Cech's hand. He clears it down the other end.
Today, if they carry on doing this.
Are West Ham going to rue some of these missed chances, Marlon? Do you think?
Yes. I think they are. It's a free kick.
And the referee...
Take that.
Looks like
Again, it's been indicative of Arsenal all season so far that they've had a really shaky defence. You know, they haven't looked in control when at the back.
Yeah.
Since they scored that disallowed goal as well, West Ham have reacted well because they haven't allowed Arsenal to build any momentum or pressure from that goal. You know, when you're in the crowd and you get a disallowed goal, you kind of think, right, there's a goal coming now.
Yeah.
And they haven't allowed them to feel like that, and it's looked like West Ham would get the goal.
Yeah, you can see some of the odds on your screen now. Arsenal to win 3-1 is at 10-1 with Sky Bet. Again, you have to be 18 plus, full terms and conditions apply. We're 20 minutes in to all of our games. Haven't got a goal yet in any of our 3 o'clocks. Michael McCubbin watching the other 3 games.
Yes.
Any other chances to report?
Southampton had a good chance, well saved by Schmeichel. Apart from that, not too much going on. Huddersfield and Cardiff continues to be a very physical clash, but no real big chances. So yeah, it's not looking not looking very inspiring at the moment. But
OK, long as you're enjoying it, that is the main thing. Keeping across all the games, which is good as well. There are some Saturdays when we have even more than 4, 3 o'clock, so that'll be even more interesting. I mean, any more questions from socials or any polls that you've put out, Pete?
I actually haven't put a poll out.
You haven't put a poll out
yet?
What's wrong with you?
I'm slacking here, but one from Lola. She has asked favourites to get promoted to the Premier League this season.
Ooh, Villa.
Yeah,
Villa and Brucey, I think.
I think Leeds are a strong.
I mean, Leeds would be Bielsa.
Fantastic manager.
But Bielsa, I think Leeds might suffer burnout.
Do you?
Under Bielsa's start, 46
is that
games.
because you're a Man United fan, or is this?
No, I proper hate Leeds, but like I want them to come back because it's a great game to have in the Premier League.
Yes, Leeds on that note, Leeds have just gone 1-0 up against Norwich, Adam McKola.
That's twice.
I've got them in one of my anchors. So
we will be updating you with all the results from the Championship. Leeds are 1-0 up against Norwich. Had a fantastic start to the season under Bielsa.
This game is so open.
It is a very open game. Any other teams that you like the look of in the Championship, Ads?
I think Aston Villa will or should come up.
Yeah.
I do think Leeds is a good shout as well.
Yeah.
But I think it's so open down there. People expect Stoke and West Bromwich Albion to come up, but the readjustment to life in the Championship, games every 4 days.
Stoke are struggling.
Yeah, they haven't won a game.
Favourites, and they haven't, as I say.
And they lost against Wigan at home. Was it 3 or 4-0 the other day? And it was so easy for Wigan. And
Stoke are currently leading 1-0. James McLean, interestingly, so they are leading in that game. But you're right, they need that, don't they, Ads, after that performance against Wigan?
Would have been a lot of pressure on their manager as well. He was just come in.
Yeah.
He was getting booed and all sorts of things.
Yeah. I think Middlesbrough and Nottingham Forest got a great chance of getting promoted.
Yeah, Nottingham Forest is a good shout. Yeah,
they've done really well.
It's a tough league. I always think the Championship, whenever you have an accumulator, it's the one league that can throw it out, can't it? Because they're so hard to predict results in the Championship.
There's always good money in it, though. But, yeah, like you say, there's always something that will just go awry.
Marlon, as we were chatting, there was a few chances. Tell us what happened in our feature game. Another half chance for West Ham, was there?
Yeah, another half chance. Anatovic going through, which is almost chance. And then, as it broke down, Arsenal was on the break.
Played.
Yeah, it's very incredibly open. Still 0-0 though.
So much
still
space in behind Bellerin.
I know there's so much.
There is a lot of space there, isn't there?
His push-ons a lot though.
Yeah, it's interesting to see if Arsenal will do any change, if it stays like this, or West Ham score, whether they'll change the system or Emery will stick with it. Nice ball over the top, and it's in to the arm.
Battle today.
So, 0-0. Michael, anything going on in the other games? Nothing else to report?
Really, to be honest, I'd like to be watching Arsenal-West Ham because, clearly the most entertaining one. Richarlison is down at the moment, which is a bit of a worry for Everton, but I think he's going to be all right.
Not good.
Yeah, just a clash there. Yeah, just fell badly on his back, actually. So a little bit of a worry there. But, hopefully he's all right because he's had a great start to the season.
Is it serious injury or is it...
He's on the ground at the moment. They're having a look at him. He doesn't look in too much pain.
Looks like, you know, when you land on your bum bone.
Yeah.
A bit of a stinger.
And it hurts a little bit.
Yeah.
Right.
Looks like one of them ones. Oh, yeah, it was right on that bone.
Well, there's an interesting question here as well from Adam, and he's asked, will Richarlison score 20-plus goals this season?
It's interesting, following on from Richarlison's quotes this week. He's obviously very confident. He said he wants Everton to be back in the Champions League, to be top scorer in the league. Made some bold... Marlon Harewood come for West Ham.
What did I tell you?
Through the goal.
What did I tell you? Yes. The Arsenal was on the break. I can't remember what player was going through. It broke down just in the last third of West Ham, and they just went on a break here.
Philippe Anderson,
Anderson was on the ball, came through, passed it through to Arnautovic, and then he put it through. He passed it back to him, and Arnautovic just...
Oh, it's a lovely finish, first time as well.
What a finish.
Great goal.
Statues, though.
And West Ham have deserved it, Marlon, as well.
Yeah, definitely.
They're again out of shape.
Like you said, they reacted really well after the goal was disallowed.
Lovely bit of play between the two.
Yes,
it's a lovely finish. First time as well.
But yet again, as you was talking about Arsenal's defence, the defending has been woeful.
Yeah.
Been really, really bad.
Bellerin was in between his centre-halves there when he ran across.
So it is our first goal. I did say I thought that would be the first goal of the day.
Come
it
on.
is West Ham 1-0 up at the Emirates. So Arsenal currently...
The transition of Arsenal has been terrible.
And they're only
the recovery runs has been really bad. I'm sorry. obviously just saying what I see, and they're not. Obviously,
he's just talking about how poor Arsenal have started.
Well, it's just a question there. It's like top 4. This performance, how can they compete? Because the teams they're going to be playing against, the top 4 teams that's supposed to be up there, their front line are rapid, and I can't see. Their recovery runs have been terrible.
Is Emery going to need time though? Is it only his 3rd game, or is this worrying signs for Arsenal fans? If you're an Arsenal fan watching this now,
yeah.
Do you say, look, here's only 3 games?
It's exactly the same as what they say about West Ham. It's like no one's got time, so you need your players to react. Whoever you're playing, whenever you're playing, and Arsenal are not reacting, so it's not good on him. It's not a good reflection. They need to react.
Yeah, Arsenal have been very poor at the back. First goal of the day, West Ham 1-0 up. How are the other games going, Michael? Any other signs of a goal where you are?
Not really, to be honest. Everton are playing a bit better than before. Richarlison's back on his feet, looks pretty sharp. And also big fan of the Everton 3rd kit, which I think they're premiering today. So,
talk us through it. Talk us through the 3rd kit.
It's just got. I was reading about it. I think there's some sort of significance to it with Everton's history, but I don't know what that is. And it's just got some quite nice kind of faded blue lines going in kind of different directions. I don't know. I quite like the kind of new Umbro style.
You are a big fan of a wavy garment, though.
I am, yes.
As a man who owns a Lion T-shirt with the same on the front and the back.
Yeah.
I mean, bold move.
Yeah, I did win Stat was the champions with
Come on.
So
that was fixed. By
just
the way.
chucking that in. Well, we've got a little quiet moment in our feature game. Let's just update you with some of the scores in the Championship. Bolton 2-0 down already at home against Sheffield United. Mark Duffy and Kieran Freeman with the goal. Norwich are 2-0 down at home to Leeds already. Worrying signs there for Norwich. Sheffield Wednesday 1-0 up against Ipswich. Stoke 1-0. They badly need a win, Stoke City. James McLean with the only goal of that game against Hull. And Swansea 0, Bristol City 1. Andreas Weimann with the only other goal.
Now, come on, defend. Defend.
In the Championship. Chance for Arsenal.
What a challenge.
Good defence. Good defending there for West Ham.
Very good defending.
Who's 24?
Who's that? Who's 24? You got the...
Half chance for Arsenal there, Aubameyang, but
Fredericks,
well defended from West Ham.
It's great defending, that was.
This could be a very high-scoring game, couldn't it? Both teams having a lot of...
Arsenal are going to have to come out more now, and they're going to leave more holes at the back.
Yeah, like I said, it's going to be the battle of the fittest.
I think they need to get Felipe Anderson over on this side, Bellerin's side, get Mikel Antonio working down there, and they'll create some openings for
I don't know, they're doing it well now.
They are, but I think just focus. I think bully Bellerin in this game and just
but I think they've changed it. So Anderson's got like a freer role, which is good for him because he's just behind Arnautovic.
Yeah.
Which I think that's the sort of position he likes. He's got like a free role, taking up some great pockets for them to give the ball to him.
Got a question here for you, Marlon, from Dumb Originality, and they have asked if you could pick any former Hammer to bring back into the starting lineup, who would it be and why?
Ooh.
Oh, Lord. No disrespect to any West Ham player now. James Collins, Ginge.
Really?
Yeah, it's such a leader, good defender, and he's a good person in the dressing room. Good team.
Chance for Arsenal, big chance for Arsenal. Sure, this is 1-0. It is 1-0.
God.
It's Nacho Monreal with the goal.
So it's just going to be goals. Hopefully it stays 1-1 now, like a draw.
Oh, yeah?
Marlon predicted a draw. West Ham started so well, straight down there. They've only been ahead a matter of minutes. Good play from Arsenal or poor defensively from West Ham for you, Marlon?
It's a bit of both, really.
Bellerin again down the right. Got a lot of joy against Chelsea, didn't he, Bellerin down the right? Ball's whipped in. It's
Wilshere not following his man.
Bit unlucky with the ricochet there, bit unlucky.
It's a good ball. It's a good ball in.
It's a good finish.
Yeah, straight to Nacho Monreal, who is 6 yards out. Can't really miss from there. A lot of joy for Arsenal down the right. Bellerin whipping the ball in.
Yeah, it's a good
save
ball.
from Fabianski, straight into Monreal's path. It is 1-1, game on. Been a great game this as well.
Yeah. So, yeah, James Collins.
Did you played with Tevez, didn't you?
Yeah.
At the time. What did you make of Carlos Tevez when he was...
Oh, he was amazing, mate. He was amazing. Just how he was. Him and Javier. Javier is probably one of the best midfielders I've seen train and play.
Mascherano.
Yeah, his distribution, his fitness levels, how he... Obviously, you could tell he went to play for Barcelona, and as small as he is, he played centre-half, so you can tell how good of a player he was. But both of them were fantastic, and I was quite privileged to play with him, to be fair.
That was a huge moment, wasn't it? Because West Ham signed them together. And
yeah.
I
didn't think anyone knew what was happening.
No. when did you find out about that? Did you get word that those double transfers were happening? Or
no,
you just knew
we was just training, and then we just saw these two lads coming in, and then we didn't even know who they was at the time.
Really?
No, and then we was just training with them, and then you could see they were top-class players, and then, oh, go on, get
Chance for West Ham!
Oh, why is he shot?
Take it in.
Why is he shot?
That was Mikel Antonio. Through on goal, decided to shoot very early when he could have taken it through.
He went for the far corner.
Jack's hands.
They hit it.
They're on the break again.
And Arsenal on the break. This is such an open game. It's end-to-end stuff.
God,
Lovely challenge there. End-to-end. This could be 3-all this game. There's been so many chances. Just showing a replay of the chance.
Again, and Anderson's on.
Lovely pass from Anderson. Antonio is through. Why is he not taking this another touch here?
It looked like he went for the top corner, but just didn't get a clean enough hit on it.
Getting a clean enough hit on it.
Interestingly, Arsenal haven't lost a Premier League London derby match at the Emirates, this is, since January 2016, when they lost 1-0 to Chelsea, winning 6 and drawing 3 of their derby games. They've got a very good record against fellow London clubs at home, and they've got another chance now.
Oh, thank God.
And it's been waved away.
So, yeah, Carlos and Javier, they was top-class players.
Because Carlos came to United after West Ham, won the Champions League. He was part of probably the best attack I've ever seen when we had Ronaldo, Rooney, Tevez just flying.
Yeah.
And he was something else. It was good to watch. Shame
How did you feel when he went to City?
Good questions.
At the time, because Manchester City were just coming up, weren't they? So, to me, Liverpool were always. If he went Liverpool, I would have properly hated him, but I think it was how he acted once he went there.
Yeah.
Like the R.I.P. Fergie stuff and all that. I just didn't like it. And I was a huge fan of Berbatov. And when we had Berbatov and Tevez...
Chance West Ham!
There seemed to be a little clash amongst United fans, who should stay. And I was Berbatov all the way, so... I do think he's a great player, though. That was a good chance.
Remarkably, it's still only 1-1 in this game. There's been so many chances. Antonio again with another chance. Sloppy defensively again from Arsenal.
Oh, unlucky.
Anderson is picking.
And it was Antonio to Anderson, a great block. Anderson's looked lively, hasn't he? He started the game very well.
He's sort of found his position, like I said, just behind the front player.
But Monreal with the goal. Interestingly, the last time Monreal scored was in April at home in a 4-1 home win against West Ham, Marlon. So the stats don't bode well when Nacho Monreal scores against West Ham. And
I can't see that happening.
No.
The game's so open.
I could see another 4 goals, though, for either team, the way the match is going. Arsenal on the attack now. Mkhitaryan on the ball.
Oh, tried it.
Arsenal seem to be playing with like a front 4.
Yeah. Yeah, great game. It does remain 1-1. Arsenal to win 2-1. Instantly is at 5-1 now with Sky Bet, as you can see on the screen. Must be 18 plus, and full terms and conditions apply. Keep your comments in. Having some great comments on our social media. Pete, any more?
Yeah, there's a question from Brew versus Brew, and he has asked, where do you think West Ham will finish in the league this season?
I think they'll finish in top 10, the top half of the table, because they've got far too much to be down below there, and I think they're just finding their feet. And after they're playing today, obviously they look very good going forward, and I think it's just the defensive area that they need to strengthen. And I think once they do that and get the understanding of everybody, I think they'll be all right.
They've got a lot of options going forward now, haven't they? But you're right in saying the defence is where they need to sort of improve. Joint worst defence in the Premier League last season.
It's the up to talent
with Stoke.
Yeah.
So that's an area they've got to address.
That's again
goals.
Yeah, that's yet again what you're saying about changing players. Yeah. You don't. I think obviously when it comes to defence, you need to have an understanding with each other and play week in, week out to learn each other, where you're being and your strengths and your weaknesses, so you can look after each other. And I think that's a prime example, like the changes that he's already made. So I think you need to, me personally, keep your back 4 together and try and work with them.
Yeah. Good questions coming in today. Keep them coming. Any more for us, Pete? How are Arsenal fans reacting to the start in this game?
Well, again, they're just positive that they've got back on the board. They've got a goal back. I think it wasn't the ideal start for them. They were definitely on the back foot for the first part of the game, but I think they played themselves into the game.
Have they gone from Emery out to Emery in?
In the first half. It seems to change every 10 minutes.
In, out, take it all about. Michael McCubbin, sorry to say, we're only watching one game. We've already seen 2 goals. You're watching 3 games.
I've drawn the
Nothing.
short straw here, I really have.
Give us some information. What's been going on?
Leicester on the attack at the moment. I've been focusing mainly on Leicester-Southampton because Southampton have had a lot of the ball, but aren't really causing Leicester too many problems. They're pretty solid in the box. Redmond's their kind of main outlet on the left. But I think they need to be getting the ball to Danny Ings a bit earlier because Danny Ings showed kind of quite early on that he's not just a goal scorer for Southampton. He can actually provide a bit of creativity for them in the first couple of games. But at the moment, he's being a bit silenced by Wilfred Ndidi on the edge of the area. So, yeah, I think Southampton been pretty promising, actually. But,
Chance for Arsenal.
Save.
Time.
Relax. Well done.
What a ball.
That deflection there nearly took it in. Good pass, though. Was that Bellerin?
Yeah.
Certainly getting value for money for the Emirates today is end-to-end stuff. And West Ham. Oh
my!
I mean, it's an unbelievable clear at the end because
what a break though this could be.
Yes,
Go on,
through.
Chance for
Arnautovic is in here. He has to score. He has to score.
Oh!
Yes!
He's offside.
He's offside.
Oh. That's criminal if
He's not offside.
No
way.
West Ham. Let's have another look at this.
He's
No, it's not offside.
He is offside. He is offside.
Yeah?
Arnautovic.
Look at the line. Look at the line in the pitch. Look at the line.
This is a big decision
I
at
don't
the minute.
know.
Arnautovic one-on-one.
Great save.
Finds the back of the net. Keeper makes a save, but it creeps into the back of the net. West Ham 2-1, but the goal has been disallowed for offside.
Here you
Adam,
go. Here, look.
You think that's the right
Look at the line in the pitch. The defenders are.
Oh, it's very close.
It's very close, but I think the line in the
That's
pitch just
tight.
tells you it's very tight.
You don't agree, Marlon?
No, I don't. That's tight. Run of play there. That is tight.
It is very
How
tight.
he's going to make that decision?
So we've seen 2 goals and 2 goals disallowed
That's
as well.
tight.
I think you know that his front foot.
Yeah,
Look at his front foot.
Yeah, but it's just how is the linesman on this side or the other side? If he's on this side, definitely
He's on
give it.
He's on the
Is he
far
on-
side.
the far side.
The linesman's on the far side.
Far side. That's a hard decision.
It is, yeah.
He's not offside.
So
if
he's
he's on this side,
So in his line of vision, he's seen the defender
If he's
first
on this
before
side-
strikers.
No,
Look.
that's the manager, that is.
Oh, it's very close. It's completely split. Adam thinks offside.
Send it to a
Marlon
poll.
thinks
Send
no.
There we go.
It was a great break, though.
It was a great
And it
break.
all started from that Felipe Anderson nervy ball over the top of the defence.
It all started with the ball, which a lot of people criticised because it was a cross-field ball in his own box, but it reached the player, ended up being a fantastic pass. One-on-one with the keeper, Arnautovic, slots the ball into the back of the net. Czech gets a hand to it, but it does find the back of the net. It's disallowed. It's still 1-1.
That's not
2
offside.
goals disallowed in that game.
it's not offside.
You remember the rules have changed so much. I remember Van Nistelrooy used to be air. He used to be so much, how, as a striker, did you always have to read up what the hell am I doing this season on the offside?
On the rules, you mean?
Yeah, because they changed so much.
the
those
rules.
offside rules.
Yeah. Oh, go on, Antonio. He's on again.
Antonio with a shot. Oh, no.
Oh, unlucky.
Who have you been most impressed with for West Ham, Marlon, so far?
sending off.
Anderson. He's really found his position.
Sorry to disturb you. We've got a red card in one of our other games.
Bournemouth.
Michael, something to
I'm
talk
not
about.
quite sure. I think it might actually be
A penalty.
Richarlison. No,
Is it a penalty?
I'm not.
No, the
someone's been
decision
shown a
has
red.
gone to Everton, I think.
There's
Here we
definitely
go.
been a red card
Yeah.
in the Bournemouth game.
I think they're just trying to discuss whether it was. Oh, Richarlison.
Is it Richarlison, Michael?
Richarlison's
He's in my
gone.
fancy team.
Well, you've seen the replay now.
I think
Talk
we're
us through
seeing- Oh, look, here we go. It's a headbutt. I think it might be a headbutt.
Do you lose points for
Yeah.
that?
You get double
go.
whatever, because he's my captain as well. That means it's
Yeah.
like.
Richarlison's lost his head, and whichever Bournemouth player he's said to have headbutted, I think made the most of it. But
Is it
let's
straight
see that
red?
again.
Is it a straight red?
It's a straight
Yeah.
red. Straight red for violent conduct. It looks like. I want to see that again. Yeah. Headbutt right there.
He's
Not sure who
absolutely
it's on.
lost his head.
Yeah.
And he could have lost Araka for us because I've gone with Everton.
Have you? Yeah,
Big
so
loss for Everton there.
Everton are down to 10 and Richarlison
Yeah.
sent off. Had such a great start as well to his
Can't really
Everton
complain
career.
with that.
No,
Can't really
what did he?
complain.
It's a free kick.
What did
Very
he
stupid
do?
there from Richarlison.
We're looking at it again. We're looking at it
I
again.
reckon they had.
It's on Adam Smith, isn't it?
Yeah.
Great name. But
Arsenal won the break.
No, they've both done that.
not having it, McKola.
They've both kind of.
Do you think it's coming together?
I don't
Well,
know.
A little.
I think
No, they've
Richarlison-
both pushed their head forward.
What's that? Is that a free kick?
But if you're going to send one off, you send the other off, surely.
it looks like it's
I don't-
Richarlison and Adam Smith have
I
had
don't
it
think
coming
Smith
together.
goes towards him.
He
so
does look. Watch.
Please, that's a free kick outside the box.
We're looking at it now.
See, they're both leaning their heads forward.
It looks very soft, but the referee has given him a chance in a straight red.
And then your man with the same name has started telling the ref, look like, come on.
He started so well for Everton, of course. 3 goals has opened in 2 games after Fredin scoring his final 28 appearances for Watford. Very vocal in the week, saying he wants to be the top goal scorer, get Everton back into the Champions League. He's just been sent off before half-time. It's going to be a long game for Everton now. Bournemouth, of course, with a 100% record as well, winning their first 2 games. We'll be very excited going into the second half, going up against 10 men. And meanwhile, Marlon, there's been a few chances in our feature game as well.
Yeah, I don't think it was a foul, but he's made a lot of it. It's a free kick just outside the box. They're on the break. He's on the floor now. I didn't look like I thought he didn't touch him, but obviously he did. He's rolling around.
Wow. Questionable.
He looks hurt.
Frank Lampard's Derby have just gone 1-0 up against Preston, should I say. Mason Mount, player that a lot of people are very excited about, scoring 1-0 at Derby.
Derby. They're good.
You ever fancy a managerial job?
Yeah, I'd love to do it. I coach now at the moment. I do the under-13s and 14s at Nottingham Forest, part-time. So it's quite nice, really.
Is that the dream for you, Marlon? First team manager one day?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I'd love to do it. I love coaching and helping kids and stuff, so I used to do it when I was playing, you know, like talking to the young lads and helping them in the situations. But yeah, I'd love to do it one day.
What kind of manager would you be?
I don't know. I'm still finding my feet, being honest with you, because I've been through so many managers and so many methods and stuff, and some of the methods that they have, they all work. So I'll probably take little bits and then add my own stamp to it.
That was my next question, actually. Which manager do you take the most from? But you take a little bit from everyone you've worked on.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the things that I liked and that the lads reacted well, I think I'll just use them.
Chance for Arsenal, big chance for Arsenal here, Marlon. Edge of the box, nice angle. I think that is Monreal and Mkhitaryan over it, is it?
Normally they're quite good.
Big chance, straight at the wall, and it's well cleared from West Ham.
Yep.
Only a few minutes left in our feature game. Only a few minutes left in all of our games, actually.
Pellegrini would be really frustrated if Arsenal go in 1-up, if they were to score before half-time.
Really, yeah.
Because I think West Ham have not bossed the game.
Been the better team, though.
They've been the better team. They've looked like scoring more. They've had a few more opportunities. If they get clinical...
Another goal in the Championship to tell you about. Leeds 2-0 up now at Carrow Road. Bielsa with a great start to life at Leeds. 2-0 up at Norwich. So a lot of goals going in the Championship. QPR also 1-0 up against Wigan. Talk about another team badly needing a result. QPR, we sat here last week.
Yeah, what happened to them?
7-1 to West Brom. So QPR badly need a win, and they are winning 1-0 at home to Wigan as we approach the last few minutes in our feature game. Injury going on, Adam McKola, in our feature game?
West Ham have got a free kick, but the Arsenal player is rolling around. I'm so confused right now.
I was just thinking that. I was just watching that. I was thinking...
And if you're confused, then I'll be even more confused. Tell us what happened.
What happened there?
The ball seems to have gone in for the ball. Snodgrass is down. I think
here we go.
The Arsenal players... Here we go. Is it Xhaka?
So...
Oh, it's Snodgrass and Xhaka. This looks quite nasty.
Snodgrass has got the ball. Xhaka's absolutely clattered him after the ball's gone. I don't think it was anything nasty.
I don't know. I think he's just rolling around because...
He didn't want to get sent off.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a classic Xhaka tackle, isn't it?
I'm being serious.
Yeah.
Well, do you think that's a red card?
No. I just he gave a foul away, so I'm thinking he's thinking I'm going to get in trouble for this, and because he didn't look like he got hurt, because it looked like... Yeah,
but then if a West Ham player does that, I think the referee contemplates sending him off. And I know I'm a Man United fan, we get decisions sometimes, but I think it depends if you're at home or away.
You think that makes a big difference?
Yeah, I think it makes a difference. I think if that's at Upton Park, the ref might like to have a look at it.
They're showing the replay here. There it is.
I mean, I don't think that's a red card.
It's a strong coming together.
Yeah, I mean, it's
I don't think it's
50-50.
He's nowhere near the ball. Not once does he ever look like getting the ball.
He gets there a split second before him.
Actually, I think it is a card, to be fair.
Yeah, I think it's a yellow, but he's coming hard, he's committed. I don't think he can...
He's got scared.
His reputation goes before him.
Well, yeah, I mean, again, Xhaka, I've always said, is a red card on legs. You know, he's just a walking red card. And I don't think he's
How is he keeping Torreira out of this team?
This is the thing I'm saying. I don't think he's good enough to play in that team because he doesn't have a head. He loses his head all the time. He runs about like a headless chicken as well. Torreira, they've paid... How much did they pay for him?
25 mil.
25 mil. Yeah. I think... Maybe he's
Arsenal fans,
to
let us know what
adjust.
you think about the system and the players that he has chosen, Torreira. I think a lot of people would have expected Tevez to start, wouldn't they?
Watching Arsenal, I just don't see what Xhaka adds to that squad, to that midfield.
Good point. West Ham, lovely bit of build-up play again from West Ham.
Are playing.
Oh, what a ball! What a run! He's only kept himself on side there.
Kept him on side. Now Tevez.
Come on, just before half-time. Snoddy. Oh, go on! Oh, Philippe!
There's so much going on in this game.
God, come on.
Bellerin clears the danger for Arsenal.
It's a great ball.
Yeah, Arsenal are lucky to still be in this game.
Arnautovic's run was very good there. The way he peeled his run back a little bit, just to make sure he was in line.
Michael McCubbin,
yes.
Update from your games. We're at half-time.
Yeah, half-time at Southampton. Danny Ings had a really good chance, saved excellently by Schmeichel, so he's kept them in the game there. Bournemouth, Everton, still 0-0, approaching half-time. Everton look like they've lost their shape a bit.
These are the scenes at half-time.
Yeah. Southampton, Leicester still... not Southampton, Leicester, sorry. Huddersfield, Cardiff still going on. But I expect that'll end 0-0 as well. So yeah, all pretty boring in the other games. So
yeah, these are the scenes. 0-0 around the grounds. Only game still playing is our feature game. But looks for chance. West Ham. The flag was down as well. The flag just buries them.
Oh God,
he has to dig
He has to score.
Marlon, he's got to score there, isn't he?
Yeah, but.
Was he surprised that Arnautovic left it? Arnie was onside, he should have took it.
No, he left it.
I think
I
think he was surprised.
Got to score there.
That's a little dink there.
Is he left-footed?
He went down.
The defending there is beautiful.
God.
You see what Glenn Murray did against...
Oh, yes, West Ham. I'm loving this.
You're loving it. Come on. The way West Ham are playing. These are the scenes...
because they've been... written off. Yeah, they've been written off before the game has even started.
Been caught. Adam Smith involved in that red card incident. The referee showing a straight red, should I say, to Richarlison. Bournemouth have won their opening 2 fixtures, going at 0-0 against Everton, and they're going up against 10 men. Eddie Howe will strongly fancy his team to take all 3 points in the second half, as that game has just gone to half-time.
Look at Arsenal's defending. Look at this.
Surely this is something Emery has to address.
Referee!
Referee's not giving it.
He didn't go down.
They're literally going 3v3 every time. Because they play so high up. Look, they've got 3 up front, and their 3 up front is their left back and their right back.
Yeah. It's a very valid point, that, isn't it? Yeah.
Look.
And it's not as if they have good centre halves either. Mustafi and Socrates.
No, so now they're on the break again.
Miles.
Look. Oh, the whistle's gone.
So isn't the
they're on the break. They've got 3v3
every time. Yeah.
So that is the half-time.
They've nearly been
whistle.
caught 3 times at least.
Yeah.
Half-time whistle at the Emirates has gone. Arnautovic with the great first goal for West Ham. Nacho Monreal minutes later equalising. Arsenal had a goal disallowed. West Ham had a goal disallowed. Split opinion in the studio, actually. West Ham's disallowed goal as to whether or not Arnautovic was offside or not. So much for both managers to talk about at half-time. It's certainly been our game of the day. It's our feature game of the day, but it's certainly been the most entertaining. The last game has just gone to half-time. It is Huddersfield 0, Cardiff 0. David Wagner and Neil Warnock there. There is Steve Mounier and Neil Warnock having a sip of water. 0-0. Not a lot to report from that game, Michael McCubbin.
Not a huge amount. I mean, I guess it's quite classic Warnock. Cardiff have been super physical away from home, and I think Huddersfield have just tried to match them, basically. And, yeah, they're both 1 man down as a result in terms of injuries. So, yeah, that could be interesting in the second half. We'll see if they still have that
fight. The pressure's on Huddersfield
last,
there, though, because home games, especially against Cardiff, you have to get your 3 points. If you're not getting 3 points there, it's a bit of a worry, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely so. So half-time in all of our 3 o'clock kickoffs. We can have a look at how our accumulator is getting on. This is what we predicted. Marlon said draw, Arsenal-West Ham. Marlon, that is going to plan. It is Arsenal 1, West Ham 1. Adam McKola said away win for Everton. Now, that is draw.
Thanks for Charlotte.
But Everton are down to 10 men. I said draw in the Southampton-Leicester game, which is going to plan. That is still 0-0. And the Football Daily guys said home, Huddersfield-Cardiff, which is still on. That is 0-0. So odds of 92-1 before...
What's the cash out on that?
Adam is already looking at the cash out. That is in Sky Bet. Odds of 92-1 we got before kick-off. So, yeah, doesn't look like our accumulator's going to come in. Interestingly, our accumulator's never come in so far.
One thing I'm thinking is if the pressure's now on Bournemouth to deliver in that game against Everton. So if they're coming out, I think Everton could have some opportunities on the break.
OK, speaking of a break, we can have a little break now. Earlier on in the week, I caught up with Watford's Craig Cathcart to talk about his dream 5-a-side team. Here's what he had to say. Craig, dream five-a-side team. I know that you've seen this feature before. You're going to pick your best 5 players based on all the players you've played with in your career. Formation, what do you go for?
Obviously goalkeeper. Need one of them.
Important.
Yeah. Probably 1 defender, 2 sort of attacking midfielders, strikers and a striker.
So first up.
Or maybe 3 attacking, striker, midfielder kind of players.
Are you still thinking about it now?
Yeah, I'm just going to wing it. Once it comes down to it, I'm just going to pick one.
You said to me off camera you've got quite a few players, about 7, and you're going to just wait until the moment I ask you a question and just go for it then.
There's probably 3 who have decided on, and then the other 2 are like flair players that I haven't really made my mind up yet.
Okay, goalkeeper, first up. Who's in sticks?
I've gone for Aurelio Gomez, someone I've played with here for 4 years now, and yeah, especially five-a-side, he's so big and he's massive in the goal. He's got those big long arms to pick any shot out, so I picked him. And
shot stopping, you look at Aurelio Gomez, that's one of his main attributes, isn't it? He's an unbelievable shot stopper.
Yeah, like I said, he's one of the best I've played with. He'll talk as well, which will help, and yeah, shot stopping's one of his main things. Like I said, those big go-go gadget arms he has, he can pick out the top corners. Gomez in sticks, top keeper. 1 defender, you said? I've gone with Johnny Evans. Someone I've played with. I've known him since he was a kid. I played with him in the youth team at Man United, and obviously with Northern Ireland as well. You mentioned United there. I looked at that squad that you guys were in, and was just incredible, the amount of names and certainly defenders. Do you look at that period of your life and think that was an amazing learning curve, or was it also quite tough because you're competing against some of the best centre-backs and defenders in Europe at the time? Yeah, just to be part of the club. I was speaking for him as well. We were United fans growing up. Our whole families were, and so it was pretty easy for us where we wanted to go. And yeah, the club at that time, were really successful, in Europe, and they won so many leagues. And obviously, Sir Alex Ferguson was the manager at the time as well. So just really, really good to be part of. And I think if you look at how many players have come through the system and still playing in the leagues as well, it just shows how good the academy's been there. Yeah, incredible squad. Okay, so your first 2 players are picked. Now, a bit of confusion with this formation going on now, so can you elaborate a little bit to what you said earlier? Is it 2 midfielders and a striker? No, it's going to be probably 3 flair players. 3 flair players? They can either play striker or attacking midfield. Okay, first up, who'd you go for? Gary Taylor-Fletcher. Okay. Someone I played with at Blackpool. A lot of people that played with him, they won't be surprised that I picked him. He's one of the technically really good. He's probably some of the best feet that I've played with. In your career? You'd say one of the best technically you've ever played with? Yeah, just especially in five-a-side, you don't really realise it, but because he's quite a big guy as well, and he's so nimble-footed, and yeah, he was unbelievable in the five-side games. And you put a big part of Blackpool's success, because that was a successful team that you played in there, a big part down to himself. Yeah, absolutely. He was there when he got promoted originally. I obviously came in the year in the Premier League, and yeah, the whole time I was there, he was one of our main attacking players, and he had some threat because, like I said, he had a great feed. He eye for a pass and a goal as well. Okay, next up. I haven't picked too many United players because I actually didn't make a first-team appearance, so that's probably the reason I didn't have a team full of Man United players at the time. So, yeah, next up would probably be, I'll put Steve Davis in, who's actually a midfielder. I was going to go a bit more attacking, but Steve Davis, he's got an eye for a goal, eye for a pass as well, and yeah, he works really hard too, so yeah, I put him in. So it sounds like you've just thought about that. Stephen Davis, what role has he got in this sort of team? Again, someone that can attack and defend, but no, he's been captain for Northern Ireland since I've been in the squad now, and one of the best players I've played with. Technically really good, all-round game, and yeah, he's a great lad as well. So he's loved by Northern Ireland fans, isn't he, as well? Yeah, I think any team he's played for, I've ended up loving him just because of the way he plays. He gives his all, and like I said, he's really good technically, and he's got like an eye for goal as well. And going back to your earlier point, you mentioned United there. You're not picking players because you didn't make a senior appearance, but you were training with some incredible midfielders. Who are the best players that you trained with in that team, would you say? Again, I think everyone says the same. Like Paul Scholes is the best player I ever played with or trained with. Yeah, he was just unbelievable just to watch. Like some of the things he could do, you couldn't get near him. No one could get near him. Even the new players that we signed, you thought they were coming in with big names, and no one could touch him and train him. Most complete player you've ever seen on a training pitch? Yeah, definitely. Okay, one more player to pick. So your goal scorer? Fernando Forestieri. Yeah. Again, just natural talent. Just wants to nutmeg people for fun. I think he'd rather score than nutmeg sometimes in training. Really? Yeah. Does that wind you up as a defender? Yeah, it could do at times, but no, when it comes off, some of the stuff he could do is unbelievable. Super sub, you get one. If that team's not quite gelling, you can put yourself in,
You can put another player in?
Nah, I wouldn't put myself in that.
Why not?
I'll go Ronaldo.
Okay, oh, it's an amazing sub to have.
Yeah.
So you've gone, no disrespect, but Taylor Fletcher starts and Ronaldo on the bench. How do you think Ronaldo would react to that?
I think if I'd actually played a game for United in the first team, then I probably would have picked all United players.
Okay.
But to be fair on the teammates I've had through my whole career, that's the reason I've gone for that. But I'll have Ronaldo as a sub, why not?
Okay, so we have to talk about Ronaldo there. You've seen him in training. You quite rightly said didn't play with him, unfortunately, but you trained with him.
Yeah.
Tell us about Ronaldo.
Unbelievable. No, he's a physical specimen. You see the career he's had, but he's done it all with hard work as well. Like everyone says it, that he'd be the first in training and last out, and yeah, he was a great role model at the time of the club because we can see how hard he was working, and to see what he's achieved now, he's got everything he deserves.
Did you have any conversations with him as a young player that you were back then?
Not really. I was, like I said, I was a young player at the time. It was quiet, and maybe his English wasn't as good back then that it is now. But yeah, just to have a chance to train with him and to see how far his career's gone is unbelievable.
Yeah, incredible player. Manager, tough one for you.
I'll manage it.
You'll manage it?
Yeah. I think I can get the best of that group.
Okay. Is that because that's a tough question to answer because you're still playing, or?
Yeah, I've had a lot of good managers, so it'd be difficult to pick one off the top of my head who would be good. So yeah, I think I'd enjoy managing that team. Is
that something you want to get into when you finish your career, coaching or
Probably
managing?
not, no.
No?
No. I don't really have an interest in coaching at the minute. I'm enjoying playing, and I want to play for as long as I can, and then you never know, in the next few years maybe something will change, but for now I want to enjoy playing as long as I can.
Craig, thank you very much for your time. Good luck for the rest of the season. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to Soccer M's YouTube channel, and let us know in the comments section below what you think of Craig Cathcart's Dream Five-a-Side team.
Yeah, cheers, Craig Cathcart, and to Watford for that. Got to go straight to Adam McKola, United fan. Cristiano Ronaldo on the bench, unbelievable. Absolutely, he did quite rightly say, though, that Craig, he never played with him, so that is his reason.
Once upon a time, I was so hyped over Craig Cathcart.
Were you?
Johnny Evans, and there's a video somewhere of me saying Johnny Evans should be United captain and all sorts. I thought Cathcart was a very talented player, but understandable from what he said. He never got to play with him, so...
And he said Paul Scholes, the most complete player he's ever played with. How many times have we heard that, Marlon?
I've heard that a lot from a lot of players that I've played with him at Man U. He's just probably one of the best midfielders. Even like top-class foreign players say it as well.
Yeah.
So,
Lampard, Gerrard or Scholes for you?
Ooh, that's a toughie. In what order?
Who's top?
Tough one, isn't
it? Top, probably Scholes.
Yes, that's all I wanted to hear. That's
Gerrard, then Lampard.
Yeah, okay.
For me.
So, half-time stage. We're just watching highlights back of the first half. So much to talk about from the West Ham game at the Emirates. We mentioned half-time there, Marlon. West Ham will be the unluckier of the two teams going in at 1-0, won't they? Yeah. Arsenal will be lucky they've gone in at 1-0.
No, West Ham would be very happy the way they've performed the first half. And they're just now, obviously, I'd have to build on that and hopefully, because Arsenal, they're going to have to still come out because they're going to need to win this game, especially being at home. So West Ham just have to use that and try and keep building on what they've been doing.
Yeah, Arsenal look very...
To just show back that Snodgrass
I know, I was just watching that.
Because there's so many of them.
He should score,
it's like, goal. You're just expecting the net to ripple, and how many times do you see that?
But he knew.
3-4-1.
Yeah.
Right now.
Definitely.
If they'd have taken any other chances.
You can see the reaction by Snodgrass.
You're talking that one, Mara.
How he's... You're
talking that one.
Yeah, it is 1-0 at half-time. All the other games, Michael McCubbin, huge apologies to yourself. These are the live shots at Southampton. Southampton playing Leicester 0-0. I mean, I don't even need to look at the pictures to tell you it's 0-0 because every other game, Michael, is 0-0.
I was jumping around. Yeah, I've got high hopes for Leicester Southampton. It's a game that's shown promise but not really delivered. Everton Bournemouth I think could get a little bit tasty in the second half. Clearly quite bad-tempered. I get the feeling that Adam Smith was just in Richarlison's ear all half, and that probably built up to that sending off. So
that's the only real talking point, isn't it? The Richarlison red card.
Yeah, and it's really disappointing for Richarlison because he had such a good start to his Everton career, and went and visited that guy who dislocated his elbow when he was celebrating his goal. He did basically just did the perfect PR job. He's already a fan favourite at Goodison Park. So it's disappointing for him now to So yeah, going to have to miss the next 3 games, isn't he? So
yeah, it's a big blow.
It was
that
a soft red card, though.
It was a soft red card.
It was silly, though. I mean,
but I'm not
silly from him.
Like, but if you're going to send one, you have to send the other because they've both done the same thing. Or you just book both and say stop being stupid and carry on with the game.
Yeah.
Well, what's your take on that, Marlon?
I agree with you what you said, but at the same time, they know. Obviously, generations have changed. If you even go close to putting your head to someone, you know you're going to get sent off.
Yeah.
So before that situation even happened, they should be thinking, like, we shouldn't even be doing this.
Yeah, these are the scenes at Bournemouth, as you can see. Bournemouth-Everton about to restart. Southampton-Leicester has just got underway. First game to restart in the second half. Bournemouth-Everton about to go underway. We can give you a quick update from our Championship games at the minute. Bolton are 2-0 down at home to Sheffield United. Derby, Frank Lampard's Derby, thanks to Mason Mount, a very highly rated young player, 1-0 up against Preston. Leeds 2-0 up at half-time against Norwich. QPR badly need a win. QPR winning 1-0 at home to Wigan, which will surprise a lot of people, as Wigan did very well midweek at Stoke. Hemed with the goal there. Sheffield Wednesday, Ipswich is 1-1. Stoke 1-0 up against Hull, another team that badly need a win. James McLean with the goal. And Bristol City 1-0 up at the Liberty Stadium. Andreas Weimann making it Swansea 0, Bristol City 1. Don't forget our live game on Sky this evening. Nottingham Forest against Birmingham City. Roy Keane.
Keano.
Fan favourite of yours, Adam McKola, of course.
I absolutely adore Roy Keane, and I feel...
What game's he at?
I'm not sure. Which game's he at?
He's at Huddersfield Cardiff.
What did you laugh at that?
Is it like, out of all the games, he's probably sat there so bored. But I mean, Roy Keane for me, like, he's one of my favourite players ever. And I think the class of '92 and that are great and stuff, and they get a lot of media attention. But he deserves a lot of attention as well. I think for the history that United have,
no one sat with him. No one sat there.
Love that. He was like that driving force behind it.
He was, and I think he was Sir Alex Ferguson on the pitch.
Yeah.
And I think we needed Roy Keane. If we had a Roy Keane now,
he was never...
These are the live scenes at Arsenal on Nautovic with 1 goal. 2 to hit the back of the net twice, interestingly. 1 ruled off for offside, which was controversial, shall we say the least. 1-1 all gone on in that game, in our feature game. And I would be amazed if we don't see more goals in the second half.
Definitely. Let me ask you a question, because of Arsenal. I was just watching the screen, and the Arsenal fans, what do you think they're thinking? Because obviously all last season they're all talking about Wenger out, and they don't realise what he did for that club. Because I'm a great admirer of him, because what he's achieved, I think it's going to take a lot for a manager to achieve what he's achieved. So I'm just interested. What do you think they're thinking?
It's a very good question, that, because
I'm just watching them.
Better the devil you know than you don't know type argument, isn't it? Because they wanted him out for so long, but it's been I know they've played Man City and Chelsea, and they're not expected to get 6 points, but for me, the performance against City was disappointing. They played all right against Chelsea, but the performance again today has been disappointing. I just think it's going to take Emery a bit of a while to get this team gelling, and I also think that he wants to spend big, Unai Emery. It's just what I think, looking at it from the outside, that I think he wants a bit of an overhaul of that squad. He came in, Wiltshire's gone straight away, and I think he needs transfer windows, Unai Emery, to implement what he wants to implement at Arsenal. I don't know if you agree with that.
Sorry, another question though, but who does he get?
It's a great point, and they attract. Throw it out to the Arsenal fans, Pete, on our socials. Are you happy with the performances?
Yes.
Is it too early to be critical? Let us know. These are the scenes at Huddersfield. Our last game to be kicked off for the second half. Huddersfield Cardiff 0-0. Michael McCummins has already described this as a 6-pointer relegation battle in week 3.
Feels like one.
0-0 already. There's Etheridge. Interestingly, we're talking about Cardiff and the disappointing side to Etheridge. 2 penalty saves in the first 2 games. So it's been a great start to his Premier League campaign. Anything to report, Michael, in your other 3 o'clock games?
Nothing much. Iheanacho had a great mazy dribble into the box for Leicester. The first time Leicester have really looked like causing that Southampton defence some problems. But I can't think who got a last-minute challenge on him. I think it might have been Vestergaard. But yeah, Iheanacho looking quite bright at the start of the second half, which is good because they need him to be performing with Vardy out for 3 games. Yeah. And so far, his Leicester career hasn't been great. So, yeah, it's a big day for him, actually.
1 sub for Arsenal, importantly, Lacazette on for Iwobi. So you've got Lacazette and Aubameyang on for Arsenal, which just go back to... Adam and I were chatting in the green room before, Marlon, about Arsenal's, you know, the front two, the system that they play. Do you think Arsenal's, as a former striker yourself, Lacazette and Aubameyang will play together this season, or do you think it'll be one or the other?
I think it'd be one or the other. The way they're playing and the system they're playing, I think definitely one or the other, because they play so...
Oh,
what a save!
Big save.
Great save. Come on.
Fabianski against his former club with a great save. So you think it will be one or the other?
Yeah, definitely.
And who should start? Aubameyang for you?
For me?
For you, yeah.
Yeah, Aubameyang for me, definitely. It just brings so much more. I think he brings so much more.
Who about
Lacazette?
But again, Europa League means
yeah,
they're
but
both
also I think if you look at what Lacazette or what Aubameyang did at the back end of last season, coming into that Arsenal squad and becoming their top goal scorer, even though he was only there for half a season, I think as Lacazette, you use it for like motivation to push on, but I don't think you can go to the manager and be like, I should be starting.
Yeah.
Because when you're looking at what Aubameyang can do,
yeah.
Granted, he hasn't kicked on that much this season, but I think you've got to give him a chance.
I think when you look at Arsenal's team, though, and the way they play with their fullbacks, it may make sense for them to go to a back five, 3 centre-halves, and then you could play the 2 up top.
A bit like City, what City have been
Not
doing.
that I want to see Arsenal improve, but I'm just... That might be a way to do it.
In saying that, Arsenal don't have enough centre-backs, good centre-backs to play 2 at the back. Never mind.
I think you have to play 3 centre-halves.
There's a goal to report. Michael McCollum, milk this moment for as long as it's worth. Go.
Oh, my days. Finally, I've been given the reward for sitting through these games. Absolute banger from Bertrand. Ball breaks out to him on the edge of the area left side, and he smashes it off the crossbar. Lovely strike.
I can't look yet.
Absolutely lovely stuff.
West Ham are on the break.
I love Marlon's commitment to the West Ham game.
Michael, it's an unbelievable goal, this, isn't it?
This is great.
From skipper today, is he? Ryan Bertrand, I presume?
Yeah.
Took the absolute skin off it.
Never seen him strike a ball so hard.
There it is, Marlon.
It's a career high for Bertrand.
What a goal.
Ping. That's just one of those balls that stays hit.
Yeah. That's going to keep on rising.
That is 150th appearance for Southampton from Ryan Bertrand. Big fan favourite, captain, of course, with an absolute humdinger of a strike. I will describe that. 1-0. Finally, we have a goal in that game. Kasper Schmeichel could do absolutely nothing about that. What a goal.
No, he'd been good today as well, Schmeichel.
Has he?
Yeah, didn't deserve that, but, these things happen.
I'm surprised Schmeichel's still there, you know.
Yeah, I thought Chelsea were going to...
Good World Cup, didn't he? Had a good World Cup.
Yeah, really good World Cup.
Interesting from one of the other games as well. Play stopped at Charlton, I'm being told, because of crisps being thrown on a pitch in protest at the club after one of their office staff were banned from eating crisps at the desk because they've cut back on the cleaners. So I'm being told that is a true story. Or someone is winding me up, but apparently that's just been tweeted. Play has been stopped, and the club have tweeted it. Charlton Athletic, play is stopped at the Valley as bag of crisps are cleared from the pitch. That is from Charlton Athletic's official Twitter account. My director was asking me what flavour. I don't know whether that is important.
Oh no!
Question. Chance for West Ham, Marlon Harewood.
Oh God, I think it's a free kick in the box. It's a free kick in. I think one of the centre halves got.
Arnautovic with a...
Wasn't it at Charlton where they were throwing tennis balls on the pitch
I think it was,
last season?
Great save.
They love throwing things on the pitch, don't they?
I know whether the bag of crisps
it's
was
in
closed
it's
or
in
open,
process to the owner. Obviously, everyone knows what's going on with Charlton behind the scenes. It's in process to the owner. Play was stopped with bag of crisps. That is it.
A singular bag of crisps?
Again, I'm being asked a lot of very strange questions about the type of crisps, the quantity of crisps, the price of crisps. I don't know that information. I will find out, Dorman. Maybe you can have a look on social and let us know.
Find a picture.
Let us know what your favourite pack of crisps is. Yeah, put it in the poll. T-bone steak, prawn cocktail.
That's funny. What's your favourite?
My prawn cocktail, love them.
Are they?
Oh, my word, prawn cocktail. McKola?
Bit stinky, but I love them as well. But T-bone steak.
T-bone steak,
T-bone
Marlon?
steak.
What are you saying?
McKola, salt and vinegar, me.
Oh,
yeah, I have to agree with that. It's a classic.
Roasters are amazing as well. Do you know about roasters?
Yes, mate.
They burn your tongue after 4 bags, but they're amazing.
You can't find them anywhere.
He's gone in on the crisps.
Oh, he's gone in on the crisps. Apologies. There might have been loads of goals elsewhere, but thank you,
Need to get down a Charlton game.
providing us with much crisp-based
Pick up some free crisps.
Thoughts on the sub, Arsenal? Alexandra, luck of a threat so far for Arsenal?
Like that.
It's just slowed down a bit, isn't it, the Arsenal-West Ham game? Would both managers have said, let's ease on, just be a bit more defensive?
I don't think so. I think Arsenal need to.
You think they have to go for this?
Yeah, definitely.
What do you make of Wilson so
That's
far?
a good... He's done well. He's been tidy in what he's been asked to do, because I think he's been asked to hold a bit more.
I know I mentioned...
That's why Anderson's just behind, I think they're playing like a 4-4-1-1.
Yeah.
Which has worked
it's
quite well.
a bit of a thankless task he's been given in that you never really get the credit you deserve because you're not really in the limelight in terms of the highlight reel.
Goal for Iheanacho.
There's another goal.
No,
it's all happening. It's Demarai.
Yes, he's in my dream team.
He's in the dream team. Michael McCubbin, talk us through this goal for Leicester City.
Great touch from Demarai Gray here. Kind of a bit of a speculative ball into the box, but he took it down so well. Really nice turn and then just smashed it home. I have to see a replay.
What a goal.
Really nice stuff from Demarai Gray. Who's a bit inconsistent. He has some amazing matches and then goes missing for a few weeks.
He's young though.
He is, for sure.
He's going to be inconsistent.
He also struggles to get...
Are you talking about Dimmy? Yeah.
Sure.
Demarai.
Yeah. He was.
About doing
I
disagree.
Demari's a friend of yours.
Yeah.
You disagree with that?
Yeah, I think he's took this season, played really well this season.
I'm mainly looking... I haven't really watched him this season, but I'm just thinking about last season. I thought...
Yeah, because last season he's been in and out, really.
Yeah,
yet again, talking about playing week in, week out, finding your feet. But he's played one game, and then the next game he's not been playing. No disrespect to Leicester players or Leicester, but it's finding your feet. You can't come in and then do all right and then you're not playing again. So it's a bit hard for you mentally and physically because then he goes away for England under 21s and does really well there, and then he comes back and then he's not playing. So it's
a shame for him though, because I think at this age you have to be playing every single
big thing for him though is now
he's playing,
so he can step. Like the thing for young players is you need an opportunity. So when Riyad Mahrez is gone, there's a space there for you to become that star now. And I know Maddison's there and he's a very good player, but Demarai Gray's got star quality. It's why I put him in my dream team. I'm just saying.
Michael, describe the goal for those of you who haven't seen it. Talk us through Demarai's goal.
I think it's a cross in the box from, I think, Pereira.
Yeah.
Half cleared. Not the best cross. Half cleared, and then Demarai takes it down nicely.
They're on the break.
And there's another goal.
West Ham are on the break.
Everton!
On the break, scored Arnautovic!
Oh! It's all going on. Arnautovic is all over this game. And
Arnautovic should have had a hat-trick today.
Marlon will come to you to talk about Arnautovic in a minute. Michael McCubbin, describe the goal at Dean Court for Everton.
I'm just seeing it for the first time here. I know it's Theo Walcott. Breaks down the right.
Finish.
Fantastic finish. Fantastic finish. Theo Walcott's been really good.
Brilliant season so far.
Kind of renaissance career at the minute.
And the away end going absolutely crazy there.
Yeah.
Packed Everton away end there. See the goal one more time.
Fantastic.
Drills it low and hard. Keeper.
Great finish.
Nowhere near it.
So we just need a Huddersfield win at the moment, right?
Yeah, Huddersfield to grab the goal.
Yeah, accumulator's not doing badly at all, has to be said. A 10-man Everton as well, taking the lead. Theo Walcott, someone that we spoke about. I actually mentioned him when we were talking about players that we think are having a good season this season. I said I think I can see Walcott scoring a lot of goals in that Everton team. And he has not disappointed. Scored last week, of course. And he scored again. He's
always scored goals.
Looks very concerned. He does score a lot of goals. Marlon, worry for West Ham here.
Yeah.
Arnautovic looks down. He's down injured after another chance he had.
Got to hit that. He could have had
his left foot though. It's coming at him.
Another half chance for Arnautovic.
Yet again, you wanted me to talk about the goal. I don't know how Arsenal are going to survive. They keep doing it and they keep breaking down. And then when they keep breaking down, the right back and the left back is so far forward because obviously West Ham are they've got the front three that they're quite quick. They're getting found out, and every time they get on a break, and obviously Arnautovic should have capitalised on that and he could have scored. But now they've made a change.
It was Guendouzi who made the mistake as well. He's just been substituted. Before that break where Arnautovic should have scored, he had the ball at the edge of West Ham's box, gave it straight to Felipe Anderson and they got on the break. And that's the thing with Arsenal, they're giving the ball away an awful lot.
In the wrong areas.
Allowing West Ham to just break, and West Ham have got the pace to do it.
Yeah, a couple of subs to tell you about. Torreira has just come on for Arsenal. I think that was Guendouzi that came off, was it? I was looking at the other game, but Guendouzi is off, Torreira's on. Arnautovic had a half chance to score another goal. It's been very lively all game. Just got a little bit of a concern here for West Ham, man. I think he's going to be all right, but he's off.
Yeah, it is a concern because he's them ratios when you're taking them chances. Because I think if he gets another couple of more chances, I think he will score.
I mean, as a forward, how many chances can you ask for away to Arsenal?
It's hard, isn't it? Yeah, you're right. Because to be fair, all you need is one chance, and he needs to change his situation. But he's getting the chances, which is good. Because as a striker, it's time to worry when you're not getting the chances. Yeah. So he's getting them, and he's going to have to put if he gets another one, he's going to have to put it away, but they're going to have to defend this first.
Chance for Arsenal. Oh, big chance.
Great save. He pushed it out just
Yet
as
again, now they're on the break.
On the break.
Instantly going around the grounds. The only team in all 4 professional leagues with a 100% record are Peterborough, who are currently 4-0 up. That is because Pompey are drawing. So interesting, so early on in the season, only one team currently with a 100% record as things stands. 4-0 up, Peterborough. Great start for Peterborough this season.
What a game this is, by the way.
And what a game we have.
And
Arsenal, West Ham.
Arnautovic is finished.
Gone, yeah.
This is bad news for West Ham. Marlon, do you think he's going to... think that's his game?
It might be good news
I
for
think
West
that's
Ham, because Chicharito takes him.
I was just about to say that. Thank you. We've got a secret West Ham fan.
Chicharito's given me many good memories over the years at United. He's got a goal in
I was
his...
just about to say that.
Yeah, he's a fantastic impact player. He'll come on and
yeah, it looks like
a bit of energy.
It looks like Arnautovic's match is over. We would expect Javier Hernandez to come on. Interestingly, Javier Hernandez got a great goals per game ratio in the Premier League, but he's never scored against Arsenal in 7 games. Arsenal are his bogey team. West Ham will be hoping that that changes today. Yeah. Yet to see if he will come up. Interestingly, though, Arnautovic is back on the pitch again. He's been off and on and off and on. It looks like his afternoon is over. He's limping. He doesn't want to come off, but they have made the substitute.
I think this is a... Not that I'm happy about it, but it's a good idea because West Ham's defence, pace, is Arsenal's defence and pace now. It's going to change all sorts of things now.
Also,
they're going to have to be very, very cautious.
Can we talk about Chicharito's hair for a second? Because there's a comment here being like, what has Chicharito done to his hair? Is this the worst lid in Premier League history? I mean, he seems to have dyed it silver or grey. I'm not too sure.
From behind.
It is a weird colour to dye your hair grey, isn't it? Yeah. When surely a lot of people want to prevent themselves from having grey hair. It's an interesting choice,
Interesting choice, yeah.
Unless he had a few greys and he just thought...
Maybe. Good point.
Let's just cut to the chase.
Silver fox.
Instantly, Arnautovic has been on fire. 12 goals in his last 22 Premier League appearances before today, and he scored today as well. Club's top goal scorer last season with 11 goals. So West Ham will be gutted that he's come off.
Arnautovic does
big
look like...
chance for Hernandez now, McKola.
Yeah, he does. Just sorry about Arnautovic. He looks like he's found a club where he can become... like, step up. He's always had talent.
Another red.
Sorry, Adam. Red card at Bournemouth. Talk us through it.
And this time,
Michael.
I think it is for Bournemouth. I think it might be a last-man challenge on Theo Walcott, and I think it could be Adam Smith.
It's Adam Smith who is involved in the first red card.
He deserves it.
Oh, no, maybe not. Maybe not. 1 second. Let's see what happened there.
Penalty.
It's a professional foul it's been given for.
It's outside of the box. It's not a penalty.
Yeah, just confirm it is Adam Smith on Theo Walcott by the looks of it, Michael.
Yeah, wow. Well, he got his comeuppance then, didn't he?
Is he the last man?
Last man.
But in saying that, then that means it must be malicious.
No,
but it's not.
It doesn't have to.
Oh, yeah, they don't
for you, you've just seen that. Is that a red card for you?
If he's the last man, definitely, and if it's a chance for Theo to goal scoring opportunity.
From that angle, it looks
not a lot of contact.
To be honest, it's more of a red than Richarlison.
Yet again, this day and age, you touch him. If you're going to defend, you're going to have to defend properly.
I want to see that from that other angle, though.
If he's nicked his leg, obviously tripped him up.
Here we go, Michael. This is the wide
Surely you deal with that.
I don't. Yeah, I'm not convinced.
You don't. Or defend properly. You don't have to touch him.
I mean, to be fair, he brings out the red card very quickly as well.
Yeah. They're showing Adam Smith's face that Adam Smith looks absolutely flabbergasted that he's been shown.
That looks like a referee that knows he should have sent him off in the first half.
He's just on the edge of
Thank God for that.
Thank God it was you.
You can see Andrew Sermon there, Nathan Aki, crowding the referee. They are Bournemouth are incensed that is not a red card. He does pull Theo Walcott, but it's very little contact, but we can only assume
he goes on very easily.
It sounds so easily.
Is
Fair play to Theo Walcott, though. He played that very well.
But then head the ball.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's just that little tug of the arm, but...
Yeah.
If he faces that ball, he can head that out.
Yeah, I mean, there is a wee tug back in his arm.
Snoddy.
And I think it's soft, to be honest.
Yeah,
it's poor defence. It's just poor defending.
It's fair to say that there's 2 very soft red cards in that game for Richarlison on Adam Smith, and now Adam Smith, who's been involved in both red cards. But it is 10 men apiece. And Everton, who already 1-0 up, have a free kick on the edge of the box as well.
Great news for our ACCA, that.
It is, yeah. We'll update you with our accumulator very shortly because it's going quite well for us at the minute, actually. Interestingly, some odds on your screen now. Arsenal to win this game 3-1. Currently 1-1 in our feature game. It's 13-2 with Sky Bet. You must be 18 plus. Full terms and conditions apply.
No, that's not free.
Let's talk about the second half. Marlon, how do you assess the second half?
Sorry,
the Arsenal-West Ham game?
No, it's been good. West Ham been on top. They're capitalising on their way they're playing and just leaving 2 at the back. when they're breaking it down, because Arsenal keep giving the ball away. It's not like an Arsenal team to give the ball away, but they seem to be doing it a lot, and then they've been breaking through. But now they're making a substitution, so this will be interesting because Antonio's been doing really well down that side. So we'll see how this substitution is going to do.
And interestingly, that is Lucas Perez, I believe. Yes, it is against another one against his former club. So there's a few people that could come back and haunt Arsenal here, Adam. Wiltshire, Perez.
It'd be lovely, that, wouldn't it?
They got him for in this day and age with the market and the transfer fees that we've seen. Absolute snip, wasn't it? For a couple of mil.
4 mil, was it?
4
million. Have we seen much from Perez, though?
But
I know 4 mil is an awful lot, especially for a striker.
He hasn't really been given opportunity at Arsenal, to be fair to him, has he?
I don't know enough about him to say whether that's... But 4 million for a striker sounds weird.
Yeah.
But also watching him play when he was at Arsenal, he was miles off the pace in terms of who they had.
Yeah.
In the same areas. I mean, again, you know...
Joel Campbell's ahead.
Did he have a chance yet again?
But also, if you look at in this West Ham team, he's still third choice after Arnautovic.
There's a big moment going on at Huddersfield-Cardiff game. A lot of players scuffle. Michael
I think it's a bit of an anti-climax. I just think it's a bit of a scuffle. Obviously, they know what the game means to two teams. And but Michael Oliver's calmed it down, I think. Not really sure what it was over.
Bit of a scrap.
They're still arguing, aren't they?
Free kick.
Yeah, it's interesting
Yeah,
to see...
Michael Oliver's done well there.
What Michael Oliver gives
Not really sure what's going on.
A little bit of a scrap.
Where's his Ronaldo tramlines gone?
That was one of the weirdest things to see.
Michael, what's going on now? Because he's talking to his linesman here, so there's obviously...
Yeah, I don't know whether it's an actual penalty incident or not.
There's another goal, Everton!
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm not keeping up with this very well.
Michael Keane scored.
Wow. Red card again.
It's all going on. Right, Michael, this is your moment.
Okay,
there's a red card and a goal. Choose in what order you want to describe them. Go.
Let's see. Yeah, so, it all comes at once. Yeah, so red card at Huddersfield. It's the captain. I'm not quite sure what happened there, to be honest. But
Huddersfield are down to 10 men, though.
Yeah, Huddersfield down to 10 men. And at Everton, let's just have a watch through here. I think it must be a header from Michael Keane, surely.
Oh.
Good ball in. Oh, I think the keeper probably should have done better there, right?
Yeah, Everton, another goal. So, ball whipped in. Nice header from Michael Keane. It's just found its way into the back of the net.
Is it Huddersfield down to 10 men, by the way?
Yes, Huddersfield are down to 10 men.
That's bad news for us.
And it's Hodge for Huddersfield who's been sent off.
That is bad news for us.
Bad news for Huddersfield fans. They're down to 10 men against Cardiff, and we're just seeing Michael Keane putting Everton 2-0 up.
Keeper should have done a lot better with that. Goes for his legs.
Question marks on the keeper. Michael, should he save it? Oh, yeah, it does go. Does go
straight at him, isn't it?
And we're just seen a replay. Michael, talk us through the red card. Just seen a replay there.
Yeah, going to need to see another replay of that because I caught that late. Still admiring the Michael Keane goal.
There it is.
Just see Oggy talking to...
Yeah, so Hogg's been sent off. I think it's in the aftermath of what happens here. I think there's a little push there, a bit of coming together of heads. And then, I think Hogg's actually headbutted in there.
It's for the afters, isn't it? Yeah. A little scuffle before. I think he's giving it. Hogg is sent off for the afters.
I look like a proper headbutt.
But no, I think that was a second yellow, though. Was it not?
No, he booked the first player and then he pulled the red card.
It goes back to what Marlon made a great point earlier about whether or not we're arguing about these coming together, clash of heads. As you quite rightly said earlier, the players know these rules. It's still, whether we're arguing about whether or not it's a red card, it's still a bit stupid for a player to do that, isn't it?
Yeah, massively.
Might not even be a headbutt. I think he might have just pushed him to the ground.
Yeah, he just threw him to the ground.
Putting your head to someone else's head.
Yeah.
Because obviously some players know when they come together, they don't do it. So they made the choice.
Sometimes you just get caught. I've never played professional
football. No, you do. The heat of the moment. Yeah, you do. But then that takes the ref to make judgment on the game and the situation, and sometimes knowing the players, how they are, the attitude and stuff.
What's it like as a striker playing 90 minutes against a defender who's just been in your ear the whole
constantly.
time?
Yeah, it's hard, but it's just the game nowadays, so you have to control yourself. Yeah.
On that note, who was the worst defender to play against, with that said, in terms of winding you up, trying to get in your head? Any that stand out for you?
There's a few. They all do it. They all do it to try and put you off your game. So sometimes it works. Little nibbles. The top players know how to do it the best, really. And when the chance to do it, if there's a tackle to be made, they let you know.
Yeah, everybody refers to it as like the dark arts.
Yeah,
you know, so being a master of the dark arts.
Yeah, but it's good. They obviously when you coaching and the managers, you tell them to try and do that to try and put them off the game. If there's a top striker and you're doing that and you know that if you do that constantly to him, he's putting him off his game. You've won your battle.
Was there ever a centre half that you kind of just knew, like, I'm going to bully this guy today? You maybe don't have to mention him, but like,
majority of them.
when you just see them in their eyes and you just
just majority of them. I know physically. If I'm not playing up against a striker, I know I'm going to give him a physical game, and he's going to be in for a game every game I play with. So I used to love it because that was my task, really, to dominate my centre half. If I've dominated centre half, I know I'm going to score a goal.
So chance for Bournemouth, McKola.
Didn't
So I've got me in the games, which I enjoy.
Cleared. Interestingly, League 2 update, Milton Keynes Dons 1-0 up against Exeter. Obviously, Paul Tidsdale, MK Dons manager, now back against his former club, Exeter, I believe, in top of League 2 going into that game. Paul Tidsdale, one of the longest-serving manager in the Football League at one point last season at Exeter. At MK Dons, and his team lead 1-0 against his former side. Exeter took quite a few of the players
I think there's
with
a
him
penalty
as well.
to Cardiff here.
Let's go back to that chance, Michael.
West Ham got a chance.
For Bournemouth, talk us through that chance.
Bournemouth had a good chance. I think it was Callum Wilson, but Pickford did very well to stay on his feet there. But going over to the Cardiff Huddersfield game, I think there's been a pen.
That's not good.
I think it's to Cardiff as well.
Yes, have a shoot.
West Ham chance.
Have a shot!
Oh!
It's football!
Yes. Come on.
Someone has to be on their toes there.
Trust me, that's a tap-in.
Marlon not happy at the minute.
Oh,
you really want this
God.
second goal for West Ham?
They've got a great chance there. Someone should be following up there. Taking a gamble.
Doesn't it look like West Ham are the home team here?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, it's
15
minutes to go, and you're just thinking, when are Arsenal going to wake up?
Well, that's what I was saying to you. I don't understand what Arsenal are trying to... Surely they can see they're getting run down, and the runs that West Ham are making, they're not doing anything to stop it. But they're just constantly playing the same way they're playing.
Does that stem from the manager, stem from the players?
Players as well, both of them. You take knowledge and you take game knowledge and say, look, God, we're getting run over here. You stay here, you stay here until we find our feet.
So they're lacking a leader here to kind of grab
massively.
the game by the scruff of the neck. And
if I was a centre half, I would never let that happen all the time because he's constantly on his back foot. If a right or look where the right back now is. You can't even see him in the picture.
Yeah. He should be in front of you, right?
Yeah, you can't see him. So now if they lose the ball, they're on the break again.
Yeah.
Pete, let's go to you. Second half, what are people saying on social media?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm just looking through the comments, and there's a lot of non-league football love for Marlon here about his time at Nuneaton. Please tell Marlon I loved him at Nuneaton, and Nuneaton are winning 1-0 now.
Oh, good.
Marlon,
I'd like to hear that.
Well, what were your thoughts about playing for Nuneaton Borough in non-league?
No, I had a good time there. Steve Chettle was assistant coach. I made my debut with him.
It's a goal for Arsenal. Sorry, Marlon, to interrupt, to give you bad news, but Alexandre Lacazette, I don't know whether it was him or not. It was a bit of a scrap area.
I saw. I think it was like a...
It's a bit of a pinball effort, wasn't it? And West Ham will be feel very unlucky that they are down 2-1.
Oh, massively.
Let's have a look at the replay now. We'll get back to your social media questions shortly, but it is a goal. The goal does stand as well. It is Arsenal 2, West Ham 1. Shouts for offside there. They're appealing. Oh, it's a very lucky goal.
It's Aubameyang, is it?
It's come off as a Diaz.
And there's a shout whether that was handball off Lacazette.
Oh, no.
No, it's come off
goal.
Cannons it off
That
the
is
West Ham
such a
player.
shame, you know.
And it is in the back of the net. And is that handball as well? A lot of West Ham players are pinning for handball.
Oh, God.
It's a very unlucky goal for West Ham to concede.
But with 20 minutes to go,
I believe that.
West Ham are going to have a chance. They need to take it. Arnautovic must feel sick right now.
Yeah, I mean, they only have themselves to blame that they're 2-1 down now, because that goal should be to make it 3-2 and give Arsenal a chance.
I've had a couple of
We did
chances.
mention, didn't we? We said, will they rue this missed chances? I mean, West Ham should be 2-1 up going in at half-time. They find themselves 2-1 down. Arsenal very lucky to be 2-1 up. Fortunate goal. But it has been a very open game. Wouldn't be surprised if we see more goals. Sorry, Pete, going back to your questions to Marlon.
In Nuneaton, Steve Chettle, he asked me, I was coming to sort of my end of my career, and he asked me to come and help him because he heard I was concentrating on my company, if I wanted to go and do it part-time. And I said, yeah, it'd be nice to come and help you out and just to work with him, really. And it was... because it was nice when a senior player like that wants you to come and help you. Because I think very highly of him, and I'll do anything to help him out as best I could. So yeah, I had a really good time there, to be fair.
Good questions coming in, Pete. Anything else?
There's a question from Stephen, just a general question. Who do you think will be the breakout star of the year? Premier League breakout star?
Ooh.
Obviously, Richarlison would probably be my shout before, you know, maybe he got sent off. He's going to miss 3 games, but there's a couple of new entries to the Premier League.
Tell you what, there's a penalty at Bournemouth, Michael. Talk us through what happened.
Yeah, the ball's coming into the box. Callum Wilson's just been
Awful
toppled.
challenge by Baines.
Yeah, that's Baines, yeah.
Oh, he's in my fantasy team.
He was in mine.
Minus 3 points.
It's Baines on Callum Wilson. Penalty for you, Michael. Good decision.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. There's a lot of Baines is running in with quite a lot of pace. Not a huge amount of contact, but that's going to send him over. So yeah, can't really have any complaints about that. Yeah, good chance for Bournemouth to get back into this. This is going to be a really exciting end to the game if they score this.
Yeah, 73 minutes gone by the looks of it. Jordan Pickford in sticks, doing all he can.
And Josh King's in my fantasy team as well, so happy days.
Okay.
Arsenal putting a lot of pressure on West Ham.
Yeah, Arsenal look
now.
good since they've scored.
I fully jinxed them when I said that.
I know.
Chance for Arsenal.
Oh God!
Good save, Fabianski.
West Ham's having
together with Aaron Ramsey.
to defend now.
Let's go to Michael McCubbin live. Talk us through the penalty. It's Josh King.
Josh King, he's just stepping up, you know, doing all the usual penalty stuff, just putting the ball down, taking a few steps back. But of course, he is up against, you know, the hero of the summer, Pickford. So see how this goes.
No, I don't know.
Good
play
pen.
like this all season.
Good pen.
Yeah, very good pen.
Game on again.
Pickford went the right way, but couldn't get down quick enough. Good pen from Josh King.
So that has been a great game. It is 2-1 to Everton at Bournemouth. 10 men apiece. There's a talking point. Michael, talk us through red card. It's all going on. Red cards. Talk us through it.
Højbjerg.
So it's for Southampton, yeah.
For Højbjerg, I think.
Højbjerg.
Second.
I think it's for a dive, Michael.
Yeah. Okay, wow. Yeah, it's a dive in the box. Dive in the box. Wow.
So it's a second yellow card for a dive. And Højbjerg has been shown a second yellow, red card. He's off the field. Brave decision from the ref, this, Marlon. I know you're glued to the to the West Ham
like
Arsenal game.
Ping pong.
So here's the replay, Michael.
It's just going end to end.
There it is.
Oh, yeah. Ooh,
was that a dive?
Yeah. Dive for you,
because
Marlon?
he was clearly like off balance. But was he looking for it afterwards?
Oh my God!
He just throws himself.
Does he give that?
No, he sent him off for diving for a second yellow.
Yeah, definitely.
Thoughts on that?
Yeah, definitely. If he's got caught diving and it's a yellow card and he's had one before, it's definitely sending off.
Brave decision from the ref. It is his second yellow. Højbjerg.
If he goes down under that initial challenge from Ndidi, then he might
it'd be a chance. Yeah, definitely. Like, the first tackle, but if he went down in instalments, definitely should deserve to be sent off if he's doing that.
Mark Hughes looks incensed with that. He's going crazy on the touchline, but you have no sympathy for Southampton there. Deserved red card.
Yeah, if he's that's class as cheating, to be fair, isn't it? Nowadays, if you're diving to try and get a goal, like you said, the first tackle he went down, which was a proper tackle, proper foul, then but if he's going down in instalments and no one's touched him on the second time, then it's a sending off.
Yeah, horrible.
The referee had no hesitation in the second yellow, though, so I think that says it all.
Yeah. Substitution for Arsenal. I think Danny Welbeck has just come on for Arsenal, and it looks like Snodgrass is leaving the pitch as well for West Ham. So interesting to see who he's replaced by, Marlon.
Yeah, Snoddy done really well.
Yeah, he had a good game.
Yeah, very good game.
Yeah. So it's all going on in our feature game. Aubameyang score next is at 11-2. As you can see on our screen, that is with Sky Bet. 11-2. Aubameyang to score next with Sky Bet. Of course, you must be 18 plus. Full terms and conditions apply. Suddenly, all of our games have come to life. There are goals galore and red cards galore as well. A lot of red cards being shown today.
Yeah, all the action has come at once in this second half. So yeah, not made my job very easy.
No, it hasn't. But you stay glued to them because I've got a feeling, Michael, there'll be more goals to come. Instantly, Richarlison's red card was Everton's 91st in Premier League history. That is more than any other team in Premier League history.
50 of them were for Duncan Ferguson.
Yeah, we haven't got the stats on how many were for Duncan Ferguson. What are we into now, minute-wise? 75th minute. It's only 15 minutes remaining, if my maths is correct, plus injury time for West Ham to get back into this game. Marlon, you seem gutted. West Ham, how are they losing this game?
I know. I ain't got an answer for that neither. It's a good question. It's just hard to understand. It was obviously a bit of luck for Arsenal.
Yeah.
West Ham have dominated this game.
But since the Arsenal goal, they seem to have lost that bit of intensity they had.
But it's hard,
and
isn't
Arsenal have gained confidence, keeping the ball well.
Changing personnel on the pitch, getting up to speed with the game. Obviously, out of their hands, it's just hard to take, really, because Arsenal have been poor.
You think Arnautovic's going to be having sleepless nights tonight?
He will be, because if they lose this game, it's not going to be a nice thing for West Ham after playing so well. It's just horrible for them to take, really, because Arsenal don't deserve it. But yet again, they're sort of got a little injection.
Well,
we haven't spoken about Huddersfield Cardiff for a while. Chance in that game, Michael.
Great chance, yeah. Cardiff's number 4. Really should have put that away. Lossell came off his line stupidly. He had the whole goal to aim at, and puts it wide.
Oh God!
Denying Cardiff their first 3 points of the season.
Yeah, lots going on in our games. They've all sprung to life in the second half. Let's just update with all the scores. The early game was Wolves 1, Man City 1. Very controversial Wolves goal from Willy Bolly, which Adam McKola is very happy about with his arm. Aymeric Laporte equalising for Man City. That game finished 1-0. Arsenal currently beating West Ham 2-1. We're going to pause there. There's been a goal at Bournemouth, Michael.
Wow. This is turning into a classic. Nathan Ake. Let's see a replay of that. I think it's from the corner. Corner comes in. Great header. Oh. Ake just at the back post. Goal comes in. I think Pickford, good save on the line potentially. And Ake just, sweeps up to the back. I know, off the post.
Good finish.
Rebound from Ake.
But West Ham had one of them a minute ago.
Rebound.
And nobody was doing what Ake's doing.
Yeah.
Ake's a defender.
Centre half,
Yeah.
Good finish. So the games are thick and fast.
Very good reactions there from Ake.
All going on in the Premier League. Go back to the update. Arsenal 2-1 up against West Ham. West Ham having a lot of the ball, lots of chances. Marko Arnautovic scoring first for West Ham. Nacho Monreal equalising 5 minutes later. And then Issa Diop with an own goal. Very fortunate own goal for Arsenal. And also Marko Arnautovic with a goal disallowed. Arsenal also with another goal disallowed in the first half. Bournemouth-Everton is now 2-2. Michael Keane and Theo Walcott for Everton put them 2-0 up. Josh King from the penalty spot and Nathan Ake has just scored to make that 2-2. Also, they are down to 10 men each in that game. Adam Smith involved in an incident with Richarlison. Richarlison sent off for a straight red for a headbutt, and then Adam Smith sent off for a challenge on Theo Walcott, so it's 10 man apiece. Nothing to report in the Huddersfield-Cardiff game. That is 0-0, but Huddersfield are down to 10 men in that game, and it's Southampton 1, Leicester 1. Ryan Bertrand with an absolute humdinger goal of the day. And Marlon Harewood's mate, Damari Gray, with the goal for Leicester, as that game is 1-0, and Liverpool-Brighton play this evening. So loads of goals. Only game without a goal, Michael, Huddersfield-Cardiff. Yeah, it's a funny one. Cardiff definitely have been on top since Huddersfield's red card. Haven't really seen Huddersfield threaten at all. So, yeah, they're feeling it, but still, there's just such a lack of quality there. There's no players who are really standing out for Cardiff. And, the one great chance they had, they missed, so they'll be ruining that. Meanwhile, Southampton game.
Leicester give a free kick.
Oh.
What? And a yellow card.
Talk us through what just happened there, Marlon, in our feature game.
I thought that was a great tackle there. We're to see this coming up now. It's a tackle, free kick just outside.
Got the ball.
Won the ball, I thought. It's just a free kick outside the box from a great tackle that I thought, but obviously not.
Yeah, interesting. It's given a foul there. Arsenal free kick just outside the box. I thought it was a good tackle from Fredericks, as Marlon said, but the referee thought there was excessive force, so he's given Arsenal a free kick on the edge of the box. Big chance for Arsenal, this. Interestingly, Bournemouth, obviously 2-0 down, we spoke about. Now 2-2. They have the best comeback record in the Premier League last season, winning 21 points from losing positions. No team won more points from losing positions last season than Bournemouth, and they're doing it again today. 2-0 down, 2-2. By the looks of it, they're on the attack again with another chance. But we'll go back to our feature game. Arsenal-West Ham. Arsenal 2-1 up. Arsenal with the chance on the edge of the box. Mkhitaryan over the free kick. Worrying times for West Ham, this. Only 7 minutes to go.
West Ham's heads have gone since their goal.
You think, Adam?
Yeah. I mean, they may be tired, but mentally as well, I think once Arsenal scored, they probably had that here we go again kind of feeling.
Massively deflated.
Yeah.
Free kick whipped in, Mkhitaryan. Oh,
just hopefully they
high and
see
wide.
the game out.
There'll be if they switch on, there'll be a chance for them again because Arsenal won't stop attacking.
I think they've also lost. Losing Arnautovic, I think, has been big in this game. I don't think Hernandez has had the same impact as I thought he would. You know, he's not fit. Has he touched the ball yet?
Yeah, the thing for Hernandez is, as a lone striker, he hasn't got that physical presence. He hasn't got the first touch.
It's a bit hard.
He doesn't have the hold-up play.
Yeah, he needs someone with him.
Yeah.
To feed off.
So we're into the last 5 minutes.
And put under
last 5 minutes of all of the games. Anything happening in the other games, Michael? I know you've had a very busy 10 minutes.
Yeah, no. Leicester seem to be really knocking on the door at Southampton. Demarai Gray's really carrying that attack. Southampton really got away with it a few minutes ago. Wesley Hope nearly put the ball in the back of his own net with a clearing header. Went just past the post. So Leicester looks like Leicester. If anyone's going to win that game, it's going to be Leicester. Going to be honest. Bournemouth Everton, though, I reckon keep your eye on that because like you were saying, Bournemouth so good at comebacks. Yeah. And I think I was reading earlier. I think since they've been in the Premier League, no team has won more points from losing positions, which is pretty amazing considering they've been there for 3 years.
Yeah.
So that could be interesting. I think Everton have got a player warming up. So we'll see what Marco Silva's got up his sleeve.
Good coach, Marco Silva.
He is.
I like him.
Calvert-Lewin's coming on for Everton, I'm hearing.
I felt sorry for him when he was... Well, I didn't feel sorry for him because it was kind of his own making. But when he was in the job and then kind of his head just went because of the interest from Everton. And it was a shame that... Because I thought he could have done a good job at Watford, but I think he will do a good job at Everton.
I mean, if you look at what I was just really impressed with what he did at Hull, considering that club was just tanking completely, and he nearly kept up a team, which was potentially one of the worst ever Premier League teams, and got them playing some good football as well. You look at what the careers of Harry Maguire and Andy Robertson since then.
Oh, great save! Fabianski with a great save from Ramsey. That would have been game, set and match had that found the back of the net. It's a lovely strike from Aaron Ramsey. He has got that in his locker, isn't he? A strike from distance.
Great save.
On the half volley.
Well, I think it's actually Bernard who's coming on for Everton.
Substitution in the Everton game?
Bernard coming on for Everton. It's his league debut for Everton. Bernard, the Brazilian winger. Walcott's come off. But, it'll be interesting to see how Bernard affects this game. Obviously, he came from Shakhtar, really highly rated. He's got about 11 or 12 Brazil caps as well. So he's not, he's far from an unknown. But yeah,
I also think now that with Charlotteson's banned 3 games, he's got a big chance.
Yeah, they've just got another Brazilian to stick on the left wing, so happy days. But yeah, no, it will be interesting to see how he does.
Oh, we got West Ham break.
Chance for West Ham,
Go on, Philippe.
2 on 2.
Go inside, go inside.
Get that overlap run.
The pass. He does.
Is it?
Oh, he's got Hernandez.
Wide.
Oh, he was
Big chance for West Ham.
That's a heavy touch.
Big chance for West Ham with only 10 minutes to go in the game.
Hit it on
West
the
Ham
floor,
find themselves
man.
2 on 2, 3 on 2, really. It's a nice pass in.
Oh, mate.
Is it a cross for a shot, that?
That was a cross.
A bit of both, really.
I don't know what that is it?
I think he just swung a foot at it.
It's a bit...
Anderson's played a lovely pass in.
It's a cross.
I don't know why he didn't shoot.
And that is Perez with a sort of cross-come shot, but Hernandez was screaming for the ball. He couldn't miss him with his grey hair there. I don't know why he didn't pass it, but he didn't pass it. The player is down. It looks like Xhaka. Granit Xhaka is down. Mkhitaryan is having a sip of water as Arsenal look to whether this is a serious injury or a little bit of time wasting to stop the flow of the game. But it means we can go to social corner. Pete Dorman. Loads going on in the Premier League now. What are people talking about on social media?
Well, actually, a lot of the comments at the minute aren't about Arsenal or West Ham. They're about Manchester United. And seeing as we have the man himself on the couch, why not ask one of them? Andrew Gillespie has asked, why does Mourinho struggle to get the best out of Pogba?
I think Mourinho is a manager that doesn't seem to be great with these spirited kind of players. He wants players that are going to be rigid and do exactly what he wants them to do. And I feel when you look at the likes of Pogba, Martial, etc., I think they are players that, they're a little bit more free-spirited and like to do things, be a little bit freer. And it's just, I find it really weird with Mourinho that during the World Cup, he seemed to take offence from the fact that Pogba had won the World Cup, which I found bizarre. Like, I expected him to come out of that a little bit different, and I think maybe now you're seeing little fractions in their relationship, which doesn't help. But I hope if we build the team around Paul Pogba, he will do well. So, and United will do well as well.
The issue is a clash of egos, though, because Mourinho's ego seems to be the most important thing at United at the moment.
I don't think Pogba has a huge ego in terms of, I want to be the main man, I want to be the captain, I want to be this, I want to be that. But I think he needs a better environment to... Look at Pogba, the character he is, the personality he is. I don't think Mourinho's and his personalities really match.
Yeah, Pogba, he's made Pogba captain now. He's obviously thrown him a bone in that respect, but I just don't see... I think Pogba, he looks so frustrated. He looks like he doesn't want to play under Mourinho. He was linked with a move to Barca at the end of the window there. Martial has been linked with endless moves away. I'm surprised United kept him, to be honest. You know, who do you keep if you're Ed Woodward? Do you keep Mourinho or do you keep Pogba and Martial?
Unfortunately, I think Ed Woodward, in taking the players' sides, Martial, Shaw's, Pogba's, has shown that he probably sees them as a more long-term prospect at Manchester United. But I just think Mourinho's... I don't mean this in tactics either, because we know what we got when we got Mourinho. But Mourinho's negativity, like you say, he gave him the captaincy now. He's been speaking positively about Pogba, but for 12 months you haven't been. You've been questioning his commitment. I find that real bizarre that you can't question. Question a player's commitment as well so publicly is a bit weird.
But if you compare him to, say, Pep Guardiola consistently backs his players. He builds them up in the press conference.
At least publicly.
Publicly he says all good things about them, builds up their confidence. Whereas Mourinho spent, 2 years slating Luke Shaw in the press, saying he's not good enough, he's not in good enough shape. He's questioned Pogba. You know, how is that going to get your best out of?
Let me use a phrase that I love to use. Your team is a reflection of your manager.
Yeah.
And I think at the moment, not only are our team, but our fan base as well, the atmosphere is a reflection of the manager and his unfortunate negativity.
I like it. Good in-depth United chat there, Adam. I know when you get talking about United, there's so much to talk about with Man United.
I usually love it.
But there is only 5 minutes left of all of our games. Quite quiet, a couple of injuries in the other games, nothing serious, but a bit of sort of stop in play. Marlon, time is running out for West Ham.
Big time.
They'll be gutted, won't they, if they lose this game?
Yeah, I'm gutted for them because they've played so well and obviously tried to go and get the result. And the luck was on Arsenal's side because Arsenal have played so bad. Well, they defended really bad.
Oh, there's a goal. Michael McCubbin, talk us through it. Who's it through?
Harry Maguire.
Big Harry Maguire.
25-yard grass cutter. Yeah. Somehow made its way through. And
short off.
Yeah.
He'll get a yellow card yet again.
Size of his head, though.
So you've just seen a replay of the goal, Michael. Tell us how good this Harry Maguire goal
coming,
is.
To be honest, but I didn't see it coming from this outlet. And you're used to Maguire scoring, obviously goals with his head.
Oh shit!
Just has a punt, and it makes its way through about three players.
Do you know what I love about this?
He has no clue what's going on.
When we saw Harry Maguire goal, I think we all just assumed it would be with his head from the corner. It's completely opposite. He goes on a little maze up, which he does love doing. Loves bombing forward, particularly when he plays in a back three for England. He does like those forward runs.
He has the
license to go for. Totally agree. And he's had a shot from distance.
Hit a pass?
Oh, it's an interesting question. He has struck the ball. It's found its way into the back of the net, and he's ripped his shirt off. And you think that's a yellow card, Marlon, for taking his shirt off? It is, isn't it?
He will definitely.
I think that's just a speculative shot. He's run out of options and just swung foot up.
Marlon, you ever played the goal that you never meant?
There it is. It is about 25 yards. Took a little bit of a deflection, to be fair.
Probably.
In the slow-mo of it now.
Slightest of touches, I'm running off, celebrating. Yeah, definitely.
You have to, innit?
Keeper's been near post from 30 yards.
And there he is, ripping his shirt off.
He didn't even move, though?
Yeah.
Good man.
There he is.
It's a good finish.
Questionable.
Something's going on at Bournemouth as well.
What is the keeper doing?
Yeah.
It's a great finish.
And that is a good goal. Harry Maguire.
Who's in goal for Southampton?
McCarthy, is it?
Jeez, that was awful.
I think it is.
McCarthy or Guy? I think it's McCarthy.
Yeah.
I
Chance
think
for West Ham.
for him.
Marlon, 9 seconds in the game.
Oh! Still out.
Chance.
Oh, God, come on, that's a tap-in.
He has to be there.
I'll tell you what they needed there. They needed Marlon Harewood there running in. Where's Marlon Harewood when you need him?
Chances do they want
West Ham with another chance in this game.
It's a great
ball.
Ball whipped in.
It's a great ball back in.
All across. No one is gambling on the ball.
No one
Lucas
reacts.
Perez is there, but he doesn't
Three of
react.
them. Come on, boy.
He whips the ball in. It is still Arsenal 2,
Want to score.
West Ham 1.
Oh, man, that's a goal.
Yeah.
West Ham will be thinking,
worrying scenes, Michael McCubbin, serious injury at Bournemouth.
Bournemouth and Everton. Michael Keane's gone down and he hasn't really moved. I think it might be a head injury. Stretcher's coming on. Zuma's getting ready on the touchline. But he's been down for a few minutes now, so there's going to be a bit of added time at Bournemouth, which will add even more excitement. I think there's.
Here you go. You're just seeing the replay now of the incident.
Alarming amount of medical staff around them.
Yeah. Ball comes in. Oh,
wow.
That lands really badly.
Clash of heads with his own player, isn't it?
Yeah. Still, I think
He's just out there straight away. That's worrying, that.
It's just the way he landed as well.
That's with Idris to go.
It's a very nasty head
It's a landing.
He's gone before he hits the ground. That's weird, that is.
Yeah, we've been looking at these pictures now for a couple of minutes. Michael Keane has been down. He hasn't moved. Interestingly, we've just seen 6 minutes additional time in that game. Of course, that could be extended. Unfortunately, if play carries on like this, and the game pauses.
Yeah, Zuma's coming on.
Horrible to see. Hopefully, Michael Keane will be okay, but they are.
He did look like he hit his shoulder more than his head.
Shoulder to the temple.
Which I don't know if
he's
that's
still
better,
down. Interesting to see whether it's the clash of the two players or the landing. Kurt Zouma looks like he's coming on for Michael Keane there, but they are still down in that with all the medical.
Arsenal chance.
Chance for Arsenal, and it's a goal.
No, wait,
Danny Wells.
Offside.
It's another disallowed goal by the looks of it. I think it's counting. He's given it. Danny Welbeck has scored.
Did you see that? Was that me? Everyone just stood still.
It just seemed like a real... I was just saying to you, have you ever celebrated a goal that you never meant, but he meant that, and they didn't even celebrate?
Well, it does count. We know that.
I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about West Ham players. They're just, like, stopped. Watch.
Bellerin whips it.
How does he have so much space?
He has the whole 6-yard box free.
Yeah,
he's Bellerin whips the ball in from the right.
I thought it was like a free kick or something.
And Danny Welbeck, there's no one around him, and he just nice touch.
I probably think it was a free kick.
Yeah, he's on the edge of the 6-yard box with 10 yards of space.
Yeah, I thought it was a free kick or something.
Diop lost it. Look at Diop's run there. You see the other centre-half stayed with Lacazette, and Diop's just headless chicken.
Chance for Cardiff, Michael McCubbin.
Chance, and it's been saved, I think. Yeah. Second. Good, very good keeping from Lursell there.
Here's the replay, talk us through it.
Coming through. Bad defending there from Huddersfield. Really well saved from Lursell. Came out very, very quickly.
Our first full-time whistle has gone in the Southampton match. That match is finished. Southampton 1, Leicester City 2. Ryan Bertrand with a humdinger of a goal on 52 minutes from outside the box. Marlon Harewood's mate Damari Gray on 56 minutes equalised. And Harry Maguire in the 92nd minute wins it for Leicester against Southampton. Southampton also down to 10 men in that game. Michael McCubbin sent off for diving, wasn't it?
Yes.
Mark Hughes was incensed at that decision, but we think it was the right decision. Second yellow card for diving. And there is the match winner, Harry Maguire. Fantastic World Cup for the man, linked with a move to Man United, of course, in the summer. He remained a Leicester City player, and he's got Leicester City all 3 points at St Mary's today. That match finishes Southampton 1, Leicester City 2. Our feature game is still going on. Incredibly, Marlon, it is... West Ham found themselves 3-1 down at the Emirates.
A bit deflated, to be honest. Obviously,
I think, though, West Ham fans can feel a bit more confident because the performance has been a lot better. I think in the last 2 games, you were so imbalanced. And I think today you've been a lot better. Should have scored so many goals. I know that's no consolation, but...
Well, what's it like as a player being in the dressing room after a game that you come off...
You know you played well, yeah. I think that's worse than anything else, to be fair.
Is it?
Yeah. Because this game that is... Yes.
There is the full-time whistle. Arsenal 3, West Ham 1. Here are the scenes at the Emirates. There you can see Manuel Pellegrini and Unai Emery shaking hands. Unai Emery, the happier of the 2 managers, of course. Marco Arnautovic putting West Ham in the lead after 25 minutes. It was all West Ham in the first half. Arsenal having a goal disallowed, but they did equalise through Nacho Monreal. The last time Nacho Monreal scored was against West Ham in a home win for Arsenal, 4-1 against West Ham. They won 3-1 today. Issa Diop with a very unlucky own goal to put Arsenal 2-1 up. And then Danny Welbeck in the 92nd minute. These are the scenes of Manuel Pellegrini looking a bit confused as to how West Ham lost that game, 3-1. But all that matters is that Arsenal take all 3 points. There is Jack Wilshere applauding both sets of fans. I imagine had 11 years at Arsenal, winning 2 trophies. On the losing end against his former club today. Another person that played against his former club, Lucas Perez, who found himself in some good opportunities, good positions, but wasn't able to find the back of the net. I know they're friends and that,
but that would really wind me up. Yeah.
That winds you up, Adam?
Like, Perez missed a couple sitters, like, at least look sad for a minute.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you missed sitters before Arsenal went 2-1 up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I understand what you're saying, but obviously we don't see it as like that. Obviously, the game's done. He's been there quite a while.
Yeah,
he's made some friends with him. But I understand what you're saying from if it was a fan point of view, you've just lost. Yeah. So it's a bit more passionate than in that sense. So
another full-time whistle's gone. It's finished Huddersfield 0, Cardiff 0. Neil Warnock there. And Huddersfield players there is David Wagner. Who will be more happy with that point, do you think, Michael McGovern? There wasn't loads of talking points.
I think Wagner, actually, I think that the second half, Huddersfield did not look like they even wanted to attack at all. I think they had about one chance about 10 minutes from the end, which they could have scored, but apart from that, they didn't look like they wanted to get out there in half. I think once they went down to 10 men, I think Wagner basically instructed them to shut up shop. And we're just lucky that Cardiff lacked quality going forward. I thought it was, to be honest, a pretty poor game. Rubbish.
Yeah, it has finished 0-0 in that game. There are the scenes at the John Smith Stadium. So the only game still happening is Bournemouth-Everton. That is very evenly poised at 2-2. That's the only match going on. So we'll all stick with Bournemouth-Everton. Michael, give us some...
it's getting exciting.
What's going on?
The box from Bournemouth now.
Oh!
Both teams really going for this.
A lot of injury time, of course, because of that injury to Michael Keane, but we did see him stretch it off. Obviously... All of our thoughts, hope that he makes a full recovery and that he is OK, but he did go off, Kurt Zouma is on, and that game is still going ahead, so that'll probably go ahead for a good couple of minutes, Michael, still.
Yeah, I reckon so, yeah. I'm not really keeping count, but I reckon, yeah, 2 or 3 minutes at least will get added on here, or from what we're watching already.
Good to see you paying attention, Mike.
Yeah, well, my brain's turned to mush. I don't envy.
It's a tough gig, and there are more 3 o'clock Saturdays in the coming weeks as well. So we've only had 3. There are some games.
Oh, yeah, imagine you had 8 over there.
Well, I mean, I think I'll count myself.
We'll need 2 Mike McCubbins.
The world isn't ready for 2 McCubbins.
A few results for the Championships to let you know if it's still going on, should I say. No, they will finish Aston Villa 1, Reading 1, Blackburn 1, Brentford 0. Bolton lost 3-0 at home to Sheffield United. Frank Lampard's Derby, 2-0 winners against Preston. Had an inconsistent start to the season, but that's another win for them, so they'll be delighted with that. Norwich losing 3-0 at home to Leeds. We spoke about Leeds under Bielsa this season. Many people's favourites to certainly go up. They have won 3-0 at Carrow Road. Big win for QPR. They needed that. They won 1-0 against Wigan. Sheffield Wednesday 2, Ipswich 1. That match has just finished. Ipswich down to 10 men. And Stoke City, another team badly needing a win, have beaten Hull City 2-0. The other result in the Championship, Swansea 0, Bristol City 1. So every game with a goal in the Championship. Sky Sports live evening game is Nottingham Forest against Birmingham City. That game is at 5:30, Sky Sports this evening. Michael, still going on at Dean Court, 2-2.
Yeah, not many developments since we last spoke, but Everton just kicking it out of play. We'll see what happens.
With Everton going down to 10 men and then taking a 2-0 lead and then going 2-2. So like, when you're down to 10 men, you'd take a draw away from home. But then having taken that 2-0 lead, how would you feel in that dressing room after? Like, because it's good and it's bad.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know, I find it a bit weird.
What, in terms of
like the emotional side of it, like
it's the roller coaster of emotions.
Because as soon as you go down to 10 men, you're like, oh, a draw would be good here.
Yeah.
And then you go 2-0 up, and it's like a draw would be bad here. Like it's a real weird one.
Yeah, they're still playing, and they will be playing for a few more minutes still because of that injury. All the other games have finished. Michael, do any team on the attack or look like scoring at all?
Oh, Everton on the attack now. Ball coming in from Coleman. And, nearly dropped there. Nearly dropped there from Begovic.
God, both teams are
awful
here we go.
Defending, awful defending.
Oh, God.
Turnover great from Sigurdsson.
What are they doing? Sigurdsson right at the end of the match.
Both teams are going for it, aren't they?
Both teams are going for it. Well, considering that a lot of games 0-0, all of the games are 0-0 except our feature game, we've been treated to some great action in the second half.
Yeah. Too much, almost.
Let's go to Social Corner. Pete, what else have we got? Some great comments, some great questions to Marlon as well. Any other questions you've got for us?
I mean, just the overriding opinion on social media at the minute is that it's not so much Arsenal were lucky, it's that West Ham shot themselves in the foot, that they, you know, perhaps are the better team and they only have themselves to blame. And Ginger Ninja has asked, why aren't West Ham winning games this season? Why aren't they able to get over the line, get points on the board?
Well, obviously that game's a prime example, really. They've played really well today, which is really good to see. But it's just you're gonna have to take your chances if you learn. They've had some really good chances, and I think that's just a fine line now that they need to build on. They have to build on this. I don't think Arsenal deserved it, and Arsenal will be coming off of that pitch like so happy that they've obviously won, because the game, the result don't suit the game. I know that for a fact because West Ham have played so well. But I think it's just like a fine lines now where...
No, Arnautovic got double figures last season. Yeah. You feel he may be... Because he's kind of the main goal threat for Do you feel he has enough goals in him to be the main goal threat?
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be players around him. The front three that they had, they started the game with, gave him chances. He had good chances he had 2 good chances to go ahead. So I think he's got enough in him to help that. But at the same time, I think they need another striker to push him on. Like when you got a good striker on the bench, and if you're not scoring goals, there's someone going to be taking a place. That's what I had, because I had Bobby Zamora, Dean Ashton, Teddy Sheringham behind me, and if I didn't score, then I know they're going to be raring and ready to go. So it's that competition as well that sometimes you need. But I think that's the fine line with West Ham. Is obviously today is a good thing to lead off, even though they lost, is to take your chances.
Yeah, final whistle has gone in our last 3 o'clock game. Probably the game of the day, possibly, after how good the game was at the Emirates. This one certainly matched it. It finished Bournemouth 2, Everton 2. Theo Walcott and Michael Keane for the goals with Everton, who found themselves 2-0 up. And they were down to 10 men. Richarlison with a red card for the headbutt incident on Adam Smith, who then also saw red. Both teams playing with 10 men. Nathan Aki, Joshua King, making it 2-2. So fascinating game in that game, and we hope that Will Keane's injury is not too serious. There is Nathan Aki, who got the equaliser in 79th minute for Bournemouth.
Lucky, just seeing it said the upside goal again.
Yeah, that's one of the ones you can't really do much about that.
Yeah, he
just dragged the ball back and spin into him.
So, guys, we can now see how we got on in our accumulator. Unbelievable second half of action. This is what we predicted. Marlon Harewood said draw in the Arsenal-West Ham game. Probably a draw would have been a fair result, Marlon, but we did get it wrong because Arsenal found out 3-1 winners. Adam McKola said away win for Everton. It didn't happen. It was looking good at one stage, and we were on for that. That game finished 2-2. I said draw, Southampton-Leicester. I was wrong. Robbed with a Harry Maguire 92nd minute screamer. Finished Southampton 1, Leicester 2. And Football Daily said a home win. That was Michael McCubbin and Pete Dorman. Huddersfield 0, Cardiff 0. So I think we got every single result wrong, guys.
0 for 4.
At least we're consistent.
0 from 4 once again. With 3 shows in this season in our show, and all of our accumulators have been wrong. Let's have a look at the league table. Man City are top after 3 games, equal with Bournemouth. Interestingly, no team after 3 games with maximum points. Man City drawing 1-1 with Wolves, Bournemouth 2-2 with Everton. Liverpool, Chelsea, Watford and Spurs, as well as... No, sorry, just those 4 with maximum points after 2 games. Tottenham, of course, go to Old Trafford for the live Monday night football game. Adam McKola, that should be interesting. West Ham, Marlon, doesn't look good. 3 games, no points, -7 goal difference, but they were unlucky today.
Yeah, but unlucky's not good, is it, really? Like, when you want... nowadays you need instant results, and being bottom after 3 games is not a nice sight.
There's loads more football to look forward to this weekend on Sky tonight. Very shortly, actually, 5:15. That is on Sky Sports Football, Nottingham Forest. And Marlon Harewood said earlier, one of the favourites to get promoted this season from the Championship, play Birmingham City at home. Tomorrow, Super Sunday from 12:30 on Sky Sports Premier League, Watford Crystal Palace. That London derby. Watford, of course, one of those teams with maximum points, 2 wins from 2. That is followed by Newcastle at home to Chelsea. Super Sunday, 3:30 p.m, Sky Sports Premier League. And the big game on Monday Night Football, 7 p.m, Sky Sports Premier League, Man United versus Spurs. Adam McKola, your team against my side. Huge game. I presume you're going.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there.
And how do you see that game going?
Devils. With Spurs, I always worry more about them when we're away from home.
Do you know what?
Home,
Since you said that, because as a Spurs fan, I think exactly the same the opposite way.
Yeah, because I do think we can get a result. We've had some good results against Spurs over the last year. I think last season Anthony Martial scored the winner. And I think we did do well tactically against Spurs at home last season. So it's an interesting one, but we have to win. It's that simple.
You have to win?
I know it's not because I think the manager's going to get sacked if we don't or anything like that, but I just feel like you can't come into this season... Like, remember back in the day when you could say, you could maybe lose 6 games and you can still win the league. And then it went to 3 games.
Yeah.
And then Jose and all that came along and it was like 1 or 2. And it's kind of gone back to that again because of how good Manchester City are. So if we end up dropping more points, you're already playing catch-up in the season, and it's just not a good season to start with.
Are United actually in the title race at the minute? Because for me, there are kind of 2 teams in the title race with Liverpool.
Don't say Liverpool.
Liverpool and City.
Liverpool finished behind us last season,
but they've signed well. You know, they've got a Naby Keita. They've got in Fabinho.
Nah, they're not winning.
Van Dijk has performed well. You know, we don't have a centre back.
They have strengthened well.
As well. But United have needed a strong defence for about 4 seasons now, and they haven't gone out and signed the right players. Liverpool have gone out and signed the right players. City went and spent £150 million on defenders. There's a reason why those two teams are the favourites.
You can't say Liverpool are higher favourites than United.
You don't think?
I still don't think.
I think you're right though. What you're saying about the gaps. I think the game against Spurs is a must-win game, but because then the gaps get a bit too bigger. So, like when you said the generations of times, like back then you had 6 games, you sort of got a chance.
A slow start,
but you can't afford to do that now because the level that Man City are playing at now. Like you've got a chance to capitalise on this situation now. If you don't, then the gap's going to get bigger again.
Adam, question for you. You're obviously in and amongst the fans all the time at home games with full-time Devils. You do all the interviews with the fans. What is the atmosphere like at sort of Old Trafford at the minute? Because there seems to be... You looked at Mourinho's press conference. He seems quite unhappy there. You see the stuff with Ed Woodward. What is the fans' consensus about what is going on at Man United?
In terms of the atmosphere at the Leicester game was a lot better than it has been, and I think that's partly due to the group called the MUFC, the Red Army, and they're improving things. But in terms of attitudes and feelings towards the team and the manager, I think it's very... I mentioned earlier that we kind of reflect our manager at the moment, and a lot of that is negativity. A lot of people, after that Brighton game, it was kind of like... I kind of even felt like, oh, there we go, we're not in a title race again this season, and it's... We're not used to feeling like that at Manchester United, and I think at the moment we just need something to cling on to. Even if the manager was to come out and... It's just all too negative at the moment, and I think there's more than one problem. Mourinho isn't the only problem. I think you look above him, you've got Woodward and the board and the Glazers and all that, and I think there's a lot of issues at Manchester United that can't just be resolved by changing the manager. But in terms of the manager, there's a lot of things he could do better. Man management with his own players. I think a lot of players are curbed under him at the moment, and I think they're playing within themselves. And when you see some great players playing within themselves, and you just think, what could they do? It's frustrating to watch, because look at Manchester United's team on paper. People will say we should have signed players, and yes, we should have, especially in defence, full-back, maybe even right wing. But you can't tell me United are scoring enough goals, because when you look at Anthony Martial, Marcus Rashford, Romelu Lukaku, Alexis Sanchez, like Alexis Sanchez and Lukaku are 30-goal-plus players alone.
Should be.
But we're not creating opportunities for them. Romelu Lukaku last season scored 27 goals, but we didn't make chances for him in games. Look at Harry Kane, he gets 4 or 5 chances a game. And Arnautovic today, he had 6 or 7 opportunities. Watch back United's last couple of games, Lukaku doesn't get them chances, and we don't create them chances. But I think Fred could be a big sign.
Why do you think that is, though? If you go in to watch a game, what do you see in the game that you think can be better that they're not doing now? So obviously you're saying they're not getting the chances, but they must be doing something wrong that's not.
I don't think it's a formation thing. So, you know, like people would say, I'll play 2 up front or get someone else in. I don't think it's a formation thing. I really do feel like it's an attitude thing. And the way we approach our games, are we thinking more about what's going on behind us instead of what we can do on the pitch? And I do feel like a lot of players are playing in ways that aren't going to get the best out of them. Like, you need to free up Martial a little bit.
So where's that coming from then?
From the manager.
Okay.
From the tactics.
So
from everything.
That obviously needs to change. You're saying that about the manager not going, but you need something.
But then this is why I'm worried, because if we get to a point where we have to sack Mourinho, which that isn't the point yet. No. I'm not suggesting Mourinho at anything.
But obviously something
if we got to that point,
because the way
the board aren't good enough. I'm not convinced the board will replace the manager successfully. Yeah. Look at what we've just done. We had Moyes, Van Gaal, we had Mourinho.
Listen to people and talking, like, obviously changing the board, changing this, but you still change the board. You still got players.
No, I don't think it's changed the board.
I think they're still playing. You've got top-class players playing for you on that pitch. So surely they should have an understanding, because you're saying the chances and that, because Lukaku in the World Cup, he was
amazing.
So... It's got to be something.
This is why I say it's not just one thing. Well, and the manager is to blame.
And it's sort of same formation, same sort of situation, because he's playing one up front and he's got Hazard and they're putting the balls in for him to score goals. So what is it?
It's partly the manager, it's partly the board. There's partly the owners. I mean, there's so many things wrong at United at the moment. But I do think Mourinho could just smile. You're Manchester United manager. Like people keep saying, Pogba needs to come out and act like he wants to be here. Martial needs to come out and say he's going to stay. But my manager doesn't even look like he wants to be here, so...
I mean, it's emphasised by just how many issues there are at Man United. We could go on all day. Great to have you all on the show. Before we go, obviously last week on the show, we did show you Dele Alli's original celebration, which took all of us about a week to nail. And then since that, he's had another celebration. This is what Dele Alli, there's Moussa Dembele and Eric Dyer, attempting the new Dele Alli celebration. Just when we thought the first one was hard enough. Marlon, can you attempt this?
I don't even know what he's doing there.
I
don't even know what he's doing.
Adam, can you attempt that?
I just learned how to do that one.
Yeah, so did I.
That is the... Do the on to camera 3. We get a tight of Adam McKola. That is how you do the original Dele Alli celebration. Now, close up on you, can you do the new one?
No.
No, you can't. OK.
Not even an attempt.
I ended up throwing up some gang signs or something. It's not the time or place.
Game, though. Man United Tottenham should be a great game, isn't it? Always a great game. Live on Monday Night Football. Big thank you to all our guests. Michael McCubbin, did you enjoy your role?
I did in the end.
You look exhausted.
Yeah, I was quite exhausted. There was a lot of action. I can't remember how many red cards there were, but I'll check again later. I'm sure I'll appreciate it.
Absolutely brilliant. Thanks for coming on the show. And great to have his own armchair as well, which is a big improvement.
That was a bit
last week. Dorman, as always, brilliant. Some good questions from social, so weren't there?
Fantastic as always. You know, good to get the questions in. Good game. It was a good game.
Yeah.
A lot of goals to talk about.
Just a shame about the result.
Adam McKola, full-time. That was great to have you on the show. Hopefully come on again.
Yeah, I'll be back. Again. I'll be back.
And interesting to see what happens at Man United.
Hopefully be better times when I come back and we'll be top of the league and you'll all be asking me, why were you moaning?
And a huge shout out Marlon Harewood. On his, by the way, round of applause, on his birthday, coming into Football Social. The question is, how does it compare to previous birthdays? Is this up there, being on the Football Social?
It's good. No, I enjoyed myself. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on. That is all we've got time for, unfortunately. Big thank you for joining us. We'll see you next Saturday for the Football Social with Sky Bet. Have a good weekend. See you soon.